These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Nelson, he's got 3 fouls, so he doesn't really want to be getting
Could be
involved.
the dagger. That's
Gomez!
inside.
Hochschild gives it up. Shot is up. Oh!
Ball goes inside to Duke, guarded by Trujillo. Eli with the tip and the finish.
Schermerhorn on the drive. Yes, strong.
She's gonna got numbers. Gonna
1
make it.
second. She slips it in just a.
Still some time. Montoya, plenty of room. Yes. Wide open long ball for Jason Montoya.
One against the screen. Ball fake, but rejected. Boom. Rejects it.
Quickly, or if they hold for the final. Wyckoff, yes, count the basket. A chance at a 3-point play for Wyckoff, and a free throw is coming up.
Catch and shoot.
E. Hill,
Give it to the hot hand. Why not?
We're happy for the boys, and oh boy. I guess they knew about it.
One more. I guess it used to be called Media Day. It's now opening night at the Super Bowl. Same thing, right? Everybody asking every question, from what's your favorite song to your favorite food to really inappropriate stuff to what the hell are you talking about stuff to some stuff that actually maybe kind of matters to goofy to yes. But it's underway in beautiful Arizona. Super Week is upon us as the Eagles and Chiefs met with the media and whoever else happened to be there last night. Good morning to you on a snowy, chilly Tuesday. If you're just getting up and gonna get out, maybe give yourself a few more minutes this morning. A little wet, a little slick, a little snowy out there, although not dumping. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you doing?
What it do?
How was the drive in?
Fine.
Decent?
No
it's
issues.
like wet, right?
It's wet.
Yeah.
No ice or anything like that.
I know there are some school closures, East Mountains and Bernalillo and stuff like that, and so check on all that stuff. But just be careful out there and give yourself a little bit of time when you get to that. A. Marie's back in today. Jerry was in for her yesterday, and for the first time in over a week and a half.
The band is back together.
That is correct. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm bright-eyed and
Happy to be back.
bushy-tailed. And
Happy for you to be back.
Yeah, no, it was good. Like I said yesterday, when my key card worked and the code still opened the door and I was able to log in and get in, it was nice.
Usually what happens after vacation.
Sometimes, yeah, usually. Yes. Did you guys watch opening night at the Super Bowl last night?
Highlights.
It's a hard watch, isn't it?
Kept
yeah,
my
I
ears
just
open.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, JJ. I just kept the Twitter. I was looking at social media, just seeing if anything good.
Yeah, I flipped around. I was watching Kansas, Texas. I was watching. I caught a little bit of The Last of Us.
Love it.
Oh, so good.
Yep.
Predicted.
Yeah, I caught. Then I would flip over and catch it, and there would be somebody at a podium. I mean, and the coverage was so hard because you couldn't hear the question, and then the answers were like, "What do I say to people in Japan? Thanks for watching, and root for our team." What was that? What's my favorite song? It's just like, even if I tried, it's always been a tough watch for me. Media day or now opening day. I never get anything out of it.
Because
I understand
you get everything.
Right. It's for ET, not for you and me.
Yeah, you get the questions to Nick Sirianni. Who would you not let date your daughter?
And he's
And
like,
then
my
head
daughter's
coach,
5, dude.
My daughter's 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, any of these guys wants to date my daughter, not only am I cutting them, I'm calling the cops, right? My kid is 5. Yeah. How is that the only question you and I heard from Nick?
That's what it is.
It's the only one that I heard the same thing.
It's not the Andy Reid fired me back in the day.
Well, then there's that, right?
That was pretty good.
So he's holding a
Like
chip.
that.
Does that surprise you?
No.
So coaches remember everything, don't they? I mean, coaches remember everything. I don't. And Amory, I know you have with the NFL. JJ, you have. I have. We've been around enough coaches where they remember everything from 26 years ago in a game, and in the third quarter he talked mess, and karma's coming back now to bite him in the ass. Right? Well, good for him. I mean, they remember everything that ever happened in every game. And so Nick Sirianni, who is the coach of the Eagles, who's doing a terrific job, says that he is still motivated, that he is not over Andy Reid not keeping him on his staff when Andy Reid took over in 2012 at Kansas City. Sirianni was on that staff, the previous staff. He was a wide receivers coach with Kansas City at the time. And he's always said the right things. He said he's appreciative how Andy Reid handled the situation. He said, though, that not being retained has been motivating for him. And part of his quote was this. It says, "Do you always have this little chip on your shoulder?" Sure, yeah, you do. But that's who I am as a coach and a person. I want to make sure I'm working my butt off to get as good as I possibly can. And sure, you hold on to some of those things, end quote. Now, if you recall, the Chiefs weren't very good. Who was the last coach? Who's the Chiefs coach before Andy Reid? I mean, for the life of me, I couldn't tell you.
Is it Herb Edwards?
I don't know. I don't know who their last coach was.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be a good trivia question. Right?
Yes. Like what?
No, I mean, but the fact that he's been there since 2012 kind of kicked me in the face a little bit too. I mean, we're coming up. Who?
I don't know. I think it was
Romeo Crennel. Who's that?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I honestly
Feels like an eternity.
Yeah. Well, it's been 10, 11 years.
Coaches like 1 or 2 years and now get
well,
fired.
I mean, yeah. Has Arizona gone through 56 in those
That's
last 11
so
years?
funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you're the Steelers. I mean, if you start thinking how many coaches some of these teams have, and then you say the Steelers have had 3 since the 70s. They had Chuck Noll and Cowher, and now Tomlin. And that's it.
I'm trying to think the offensive coordinator guy in Pittsburgh. Is he the head coach?
I don't know. It shouldn't be that hard to find. I
Can I think of his name?
From Pittsburgh? I don't. My point is, if you recall,
I gotta know now. I gotta look.
I know. I do too. If you recall, it was Dick Vermeil. Can that be right?
No.
It can't be right.
Haley. So it's Haley and then Romeo Crennel for like a year and a half.
Haley,
That's what I think. Todd Haley.
the offensive coordinator from Pittsburgh. Wow, is that forgettable? No, honestly.
Yeah, they were 2-14 before Andy Reid got there.
All right. So kind of drawing out my scenario, right? Yeah. When he got there, they weren't very good. They were 2-14 the year before. So what are coaches going to do when they come in? Now, Romeo Crennel was the guy right before him. So Romeo Crennel, Marie, you're right.
Yeah.
You were right. Romeo Crennel was there.
Name 3 coaches.
Yeah. The last 3 coaches before Andy Reid were Romeo Crennel, Todd Haley, Herm Edwards, Dick Vermeil, Gunther Cunningham, Marty Schottenheimer. I'm taking you now back to the mid-'80s. And so coaches come in, they clean out their staff, and they bring in who they want to bring in, and they look around and they evaluate. And it's rare that they keep the majority of the staff. It's relatively common they keep 1 or 2 guys, but they bring in their guys. They clean house. And Sirianni, the Eagles head coach, his first coaching job was with the Chiefs. I guess that's where he met his wife, right, in Kansas City. He was an offensive quality control coach there in 2009, worked his way up to receivers coach. Then when Andy Reid took over, for Romeo Crennel after 2 and 14 years that season. He brought in David Culley to fill that job, and David Culley has since been a head coach. Sirianni continued. He said, Andy came in because we weren't good enough in Kansas City. He stepped in. He did an unbelievable job. What I appreciated is he brought everyone in and talked to them. All right. If that's what motivates you, that's cool. I don't think that's what's motivating him, to be honest with you. I think he remembers it. I think he doesn't need motivation to win the damn Super Bowl. But out of, like, to me, there was 2 big storylines that came out of this yesterday, and it wasn't Patrick Mahomes' favorite song. It was, A, that Nick Sirianni is motivated by this, and to me, a bigger one, Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, was asked about Jalen Hurts and his future and what is he looking for and the prospects of him being your long-term guy. And the owner of the Eagles said, quote, I don't think he has anything to prove. He's the MVP caliber quarterback, an incredible leader of the team off the field, on the field. He's 24 years old, incredibly mature, most importantly, driven to be even better. What we're seeing today, I think, is just the beginning for Jalen. The guy will attack every weakness as he has since high school, since college. The future is bright and very exciting for all of us, end quote. So he's got 1 year left on his rookie deal. He was asked, when do you start negotiating? The answer was not this week.
These are the questions that GMs, owners get. They're like, we just want to take this all the way into his rookie deal. This
but I don't know that
we
he's
don't want
going
to have to pay this guy.
But I think he's going to have to pay him after this, don't
But
you?
that's, get out there in front of it. If you got a good quarterback, figure out what number you want to get in at. And it's better early than late, because then you end into the Lamar Jackson situation. We're at the very end of the deal, and apparently they're like $100 million apart on guaranteed money, and because the next one is always going to be the biggest one.
Well, do you think this one's
It's going to be a
counts on the
top 5
biggest
contract.
Yeah. So
It is.
what invariably happens with these, and not sometimes, but almost always, is the longer you wait, the more costs. So you think you are saving money by saving yourself that rookie year, and the cost of signing Jalen Hurts for a long-term deal now is going to be exponentially less than it will be most likely a year from now. If you believe that Jalen Hurts is going to continue where he is, and he's an MVP caliber quarterback now, and you wait another year and he's an MVP caliber quarterback for 2 years in a row, the price goes up. So in the long term, you're most likely paying less. Now, to pay him now means you got to break up this team that went to the Super Bowl, right? You're not going to be able to afford everybody that you want to keep. That's what that means. That's just the way the NFL is structured. You don't have to like the way the NFL is structured, but that's what keeps this thing going, where you don't have, except for New England, winning year after year after year. The Rams won last year and didn't make the playoffs this year. Who won the Super Bowl 2 years ago? It was Tampa Bay. They were bad. They made the playoffs. They were under 500, won their division, right? So that's how the league's structured. You don't have to like it, but that's what keeps the competitive balance in this league going.
And there's only 2 teams right now with the rosters, and that is San Francisco and would be this Philadelphia club, that would dare say, should we just keep doing it with cheap quarterbacks?
Well, again,
And you don't feel great about it.
Well, if you're saying San Francisco too and Philadelphia,
Like,
if you're
Should we
Philadelphia,
just keep this rookie quarterback thing
are you
going?
risking long term with this guy?
No.
You don't think so?
Like,
All right.
I think Jalen Hurts, locked in, 24 years old, it gotten so much better in the passing game, the run game with the RPO threat. No one's saying, "Oh, he can't win this game."
Yeah.
He's a running quarterback.
Nobody. All right, lots to do today. Lots to do today on game day. Lobos and Wolfpack in the pit. Steve Alford joined us yesterday. If you missed Steve Alford with us yesterday, it's available on all of our platforms. JJ's Twitter _JJ Buck. You can go to our website. What's our website? sportsanimалabq.com, and you click on the opening drive, and it's there for you. We're going to hear some of what Richard Pitino had to say yesterday during today's show as we get ready for a big, big night out at the pit. Not only is it the return of Steve Alford, Craig Neal, this is a game that has gigantic implications on the league and the NCAA bids, so we're going to get into that as well. It could also be a big night in the NBA. LeBron James 36 points away from the all-time scoring mark. We're going to get into that. And are the Grizzlies the new villains? Are the Grizzlies the new bad boys, Pistons? Are they trying to be? Because they're becoming that. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on a beautiful, chilly, snowy Tuesday morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers, they maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force.
Broncos introduced Sean Payton formally yesterday. That he showed up in his orange tie and his really nice suit. Back on the NFL Network set. Sean Payton, new head coach of the Broncos. How you feeling about that? You had to be pretty. I guess you and I have not had this conversation yet, but Russell Wilson's quarterback coach isn't here yet, and he's going to fix Russell Wilson. And well, everybody seems to be pretty happy, just like you were about a year ago when you got Russell Wilson.
think for Sean Payton, it makes sense right now because they don't have a lot of time to waste with this roster, with this quarterback. I think Denver gave up a ton just to get Russell Wilson and Sean Payton.
So they got a first and a second for this one?
3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and out of it, you got Russell Wilson and Sean Payton.
What are they paying Payton, by the way? Do we know?
I don't know the details of his contract off the top of my head, but this is one where you're doing a 180. I don't think that just because Nathaniel Hackett didn't work that some of these other candidates wouldn't have been a good option. I think we saw with Ryans, he wanted to go to Houston. He played at Houston. His wife's from Houston. That was his dream job. Jim Harbaugh, even with all the stuff that's going on at Michigan, he stayed in the college ranks. And then you're going down the list, and if Sean Payton is your third option, it's not a bad third option. It costs you a first-round pick, so there's no honeymoon period. It's you come in, and what the Broncos were expected to do last season, you got to do that this season. That's be competitive. There's an extra wild card spot out there. You're not beating the Kansas City Chiefs right now. You'd like to break that streak, at least win one regular season game against them, but it's start pushing this franchise in the right direction. I still think they have a lot of work to do because I am not totally sold on this offense. Also with the skill position players, and you're looking at Javonte Williams coming back from injury. If Jerry Jeudy going to be any good, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick was hurt. He's going to be coming back off injury. So there's still a lot of question marks offensively.
Well, all right. So they gave up a lot. I mean, a ton, right? And so to your point, they gave up their first round pick in this draft. What was their? It had to be pretty high, top 10.
No, that was the one they sent to Seattle. They got this one back in the Bradley Chubb trade, so it's actually the 49ers pick that they sent to
all right, so a lower pick.
It's 30.
Yeah, all right. It's there is no honeymoon period. Now, D'Amico Ryan's making a honeymoon period. Although it's a franchise who doesn't really give honeymoon periods. They've had 2 one-year coaches in the last 2 years and fired both of them. But it feels like they're willing to give D'Amico Ryan's a honeymoon period. He's going to get a new quarterback. And so you're going to be working with a rookie quarterback in Houston, a guy who's coming home. It feels like he's going to get some time because there's no expectations. To your point, what Sean Payton's walking into, they went out and got the guy who they think is the best. This is the best coach who's been on the market in a lot of years, right? Theoretically, the most sought-after coach. I mean, this is, Bill Cowher left the Steelers and went to TV. Everybody thought this was every year. He's going somewhere. He was associated with every job. Well, Sean Payton was that for the last year and a half. And this is the guy that, because he won 1 Super Bowl with Drew Brees, is expected to go up there and do it. You're right, man. This thing can get hot by October for him. If they don't start winning right away and if Russell Wilson doesn't play, and he's putting a whole lot of faith into Russell Wilson. His legacy, his career, his reputation is really going to be based on the faith that he has in Russell Wilson, right?
Absolutely. This is that franchise for the next few seasons.
They're not getting out of it. There's nowhere to go. Now they're tied to these 2. They don't have a lot of draft picks. And so he talked about it yesterday, and he's really, really polished. He's really good. He was asked if Wilson will continue to have his personal quarterback coach, Jake Heaps. I'm not too familiar with that, he said. It's foreign to me. That's not going to take place. I'm unfamiliar with it. Our staff will be here. Our players will be here, and that will be it. That was his quote. Basically, no, there's not going to be any outside coaches. Look, Russ is different now. And Russ got to be different because he won a Super Bowl and probably should have won 2. But Russ is different with his teammates. He's a different cat. He's got his own quarterback coach in the building. I mean, when has this ever worked? Did it work for Brady when he had his own guy? What was the trainer Brady had up in
yeah, and
in
eventually that soured.
It did.
And this is what is happening right now. Sean Payton's like, yeah, that's foreign to me.
It's probably not going to happen here.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Your own guy outside the facility.
Yeah, we're going to get you quarterback coach. If you want to work outside, that's right. But it better not go against what we're talking about. It better not he better not have a problem with what we're trying to do here.
And that's with any star player, things are going to be different. And their life outside the facility, their appearances, things they're going to be doing, they're going to be called on board.
Is he a star player?
Russell, yes, he is.
I mean, he's their highest profile player.
Russell Wilson had a bad year.
With
He's still
two really
like a
bad
star
years.
quarterback in the NFL.
Are you
But-
sold on that?
Yes.
Really? Because I'm not nearly as sold as you.
Well, Russell Wilson is still someone everyone knows. That's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
Star doesn't mean that you're the best player necessarily, like right now.
Should mean you're good, right?
You can be a celebrity. That's how
I'll
about
give you that.
That's what I meant
okay.
to say.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
I'm not saying that Russell Wilson just being a star means that he's
No,
a
he's
top
a
big
celebrity.
quarterback.
Yeah.
But
Well, he's a
it's-
Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah, like so people know who Russell Wilson is. Even if you hate his commercials, he's still doing Subway commercials. Like that's
Or his cheese
so
he
he's-
lets ride.
Yeah, he's
I still believe in him.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So you would want him on your team?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying
don't.
for a long time, but
Is he done?
I don't think he's done.
I kind of do.
I'm intrigued to see now with Sean Payton how it goes if
But-
it is coaching.
Yeah, I kind of do. I've seen a 2-year sample size, and I see a guy who is done because I think it's in his head. Can he still run around and the physical stuff? It's got to still be there, right? He's 31 years old. He didn't lose that. I think it's in his head. Yeah, I do think he's done. Like I wouldn't want him as my quarterback. No. That's why the Sean Payton thing surprised me as much as it did, that he just really tied his legacy and his reputation, his future, to Russell Wilson in a way. And so that's the only thing that gives me a little bit of doubt. Like I was on the Russell Wilson's done train all year. I think you know that. The only thing that gave me a little bit of pause now is Sean Payton knows way, way, way more than I do. And the fact that a guy who's so respected and has had success at the highest level, like Sean Payton has, is gone in and entrusted this and believes in that. So it gives me a little pause. But yeah, my eyes tell me like that guy's not coming back and being a Super Bowl quarterback again. I just don't see it.
Well, especially when you put him up against who he has to beat in the AFC. So now it's really on franchise building, game planning, maximizing what you have. And to my point on Russell Wilson, the celebrity, is you can still do that, but who are you in the facility? And I think that's the biggest step going forward is kind of Russell Wilson humbling himself, just being the guy, Monday through Saturday, first one in, last one out mentality, just getting the locker room back, getting this team back together. Because this Broncos franchise, we don't think about them as, one when you're talking about the Browns or the Lions. They are trending in that direction. They've had 5, 6, 10+ lost seasons.
Really bad.
Like this is a culture of not winning for a long time now in Denver.
And now you've got one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. And I will tell you, I think there's at least 8 quarterbacks better than him in the AFC.
Yeah.
In the AFC, not in the NFL, in the AFC. I think there's better quarterbacks in Buffalo and Miami and Baltimore and Cincinnati and Cleveland and Jacksonville and Kansas City and Chargers. And you can make cases other places depending on where guys land. But I think there's 8 better quarterbacks in the AFC. And he's the 3rd highest paid guy in the league? 4th highest paid guy in the league? I think you got a problem. And to your point, are they the Browns yet? Are they the Texans yet? Are they – the numbers are telling you that's kind of where they're trending. And it's a horrible, horrible trend. Horrible trend. Bronco fan, I know you guys talked about this last week. Bronco fans got to be all over Sean Payton, right? They got to be thrilled, right?
Yes. From the Bronco fans I've heard.
Yeah, he gave up a lot, and I don't know that he can come in and wave the magic wand. Maybe I'm wrong,
but it's also now the focus has shifted. Like I get it, Russell Wilson paid a lot of money. He's not that guy, so you have to maximize the team portion of this right now for the Broncos and look at, all right, how can we be successful knowing that Russell Wilson's not going to be the best quarterback on the field every single game.
In fact, rarely. 505-246-0610 is tonight the night. Does the king take the throne? Is tonight that night? The prices of tickets are stupid at Staples Center for a Lakers-Bucks game in mid-February. That's next.
And I have to tell you about 377 Brewery. I've been telling you guys about it. It's on the corner of the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, and it is your go-to place for all your pre-game Lobo home games. Tonight is a huge game at 8:30 as Lobos take on Nevada. And where should you be before the game? You should be right around the corner at 377 Brewery. From 5 to 7, we are having a pre-game party. It has a big, beautiful room, and they just redid the patio. So you're going to feel like you're inside. It's nicely heated. I know it's snowy and wet and gross outside, but there's plenty of room, and there's a big, now beautiful new patio that you got to come check out at 377 Brewery. From 5 to 7, what are we doing at this pregame? Well, let me tell you, we're giving out we're doing prizes. We're giving out tickets to future Lobo games, 377 gift cards, merchandise, the works. There's food and drink specials. So come out, wear your red. I know I heard on the street that you're supposed to wear red to the game tonight, and come hang out with us before you go watch your Lobos take on Nevada. Check it out, 377 Brewery, or check them out on the internet at 377brewery.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Defensive coordinator for your Minnesota Vikings, the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, who was with Pittsburgh Steelers this last year. He is the guy who has got the lawsuit against the NFL. He's now the defensive coordinator for Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings.
I will say, after the last 2 years of having an atrocious defense, I'm excited to have a new defensive coordinator.
You need one.
That was the
you
number
good-
one priority for me as
you
a
good with him?
Minnesota Viking guy. Yeah, I'm good with him.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
And I will get more into it. Just, I'm very excited we have someone new.
Okay, that's how she feels. All right, tonight could be the night in LA at Crypto.com Arena. So I had heard courtside seats were going for like $90,000.
It's so much money.
I
It's
just
ridiculous.
went online. So it looks like we can get. Oh, JJ, that was for a pair. So you can get a pair of courtside seats for $90,000 on what was I on?
Oh,
StubHub?
only 90,000?
On where am I? StubHub. Yeah. So 2 courtside seats, row 1. You'll be seated together, first row to
90?
section. 45,000 a piece. So 2 for 90. Yeah, plus fees and parking and 90 grand.
A hot dog.
Probably not parking yourself. You're spending that on courtside seats.
Fair enough. You got to pay for your ride to get there. Fair enough. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to do it?
That's insane.
Is this one of those events that you just want to be at? So this is
No.
right when I'm trying to think of something.
City, yes.
Well, I'm trying to
have
think
that.
of something. This is Bonds hitting, breaking
True
the record. Is this how many people were paying big dollars to be there? And what if he scores 32 tonight and you paid all that money and he doesn't break the record? Like, is there pressure on him tonight to do it?
Yes.
He's 36 points away.
Gosh, what if he gets hurt or something?
What if they shut him down and he scores 24? Then it's the next game that they get that money for. StubHub's stoked. But this is for you? It is one of those games that if you could do this, right? If you get stupid money to throw
Yes.
around like that, this is one.
We're talking about the environment, the franchise, the city. If you're able to pull something up and look at courtside seats for $90,000,
Yeah.
then this is an event you're going to.
Okay. Yes. All right. I guess if I really like LeBron, I would be there, and this should be all about the record, the being the event, and just to say, yep, I was there, I saw LeBron do it. It's not like he's 16 points away, and he's going to do it. So there's a bit of a risk, but again, if you can throw 90 grand around like that, you're probably it's not hurting you that much. We're not even going to watch this tonight, right? I mean, Lobo started at 8:30. It's taken away from Joe Biden tonight. He's got State of the Union tonight. I mean, taking eyes off.
Look at the sports calendar.
What is wrong
Mr.
with
President.
you, Mr. President? Don't you know that the King may set the scoring mark tonight? And the
Got
Lobos play
LeBron
Nevada.
James, Steve Alford coming back to the pit.
What the hell is going on with you? So this is one of those. Hey, Marie, is this one for you that you would, if you could just, I mean, if $90,000 was nothing to you and you could throw it around, is this something that you would spend that money on?
No.
Me neither. Yeah.
And I love LeBron, and I've been a big fan.
But
of
if
his.
$90,
not for this, I'd rather go to like a championship game or like this isn't a big deal to me breaking a record.
Yeah. So if 90 grand was like 90
Anymore.
bucks to you, right?
Yeah. I guess if it was $90 to me.
Yeah.
I
if
mean,
it was like, you know what I mean? Because
it's not my priority.
Whoever's doing this isn't getting hurt by 90 grand.
I'd rather go to the pit.
Ooh, that's a good call. Would you rather be at the pit tonight to see Stevie and Noodles and
But that's
Nevada
what
come in?
means a lot to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
It's
that's
awesome
fair.
though. I just can't believe like $90,000 is just like
Yeah, for 2 tickets.
thing.
Yeah, for 2 tickets. Evidently, it comes with unlimited food and drinks, beer and soft drinks.
Well.
Yeah.
You better.
I mean, that's what it says. I don't.
I mean, Diet Coke's you're drinking 4 quarters.
I mean,
I wouldn't be
Let's go.
drinking Diet Coke.
Yeah, I promise I would. I promise I wouldn't either.
Well, then you won't remember that you were there.
Yeah, you kind of.
You do, I promise.
I did the Diamond Club at Nationals game a couple
Oh.
years back, right? Where it's like all you can do to yourself.
Yeah,
and
I did it this year too.
It's wonderful because the food was good. And it's all you.
I like that I didn't have to get up to get my drinks. We had servers.
Yeah, so we did.
That
so
was the best.
We went and got our own food because there was so much I wanted to see what was there. But the servers were bringing a beer every half inning. It was quality. Yeah. No.
I know it's first world problems, but it's nice. You're like, okay, I don't have to plan to go at halftime. Like I could just anytime.
Well, baseball you could just whatever, right?
Right.
And there's
I was at hockey
monitors everywhere, and at those it's not like the long lines on the concourse. No, it's that one's terrific. All right, I want to get into the Grizzlies a little bit, and this thing on Ja Morant and one of his buddies was thrown out of games for a year. JJ, are the Grizzlies? I was talking to a good buddy of mine yesterday who's a Laker fan. He's like, they are just biatches. They are just punks. They are, and they're feeling it now, and they're not going to win anything because it's going to get into their head. Dylan Brooks was suspended for a game for, hitting Donovan Mitchell in the junk. And that's who he is now. Like, he is just that guy. They've got Ja Morant's dudes shining lasers in the face of the opposing team during a game. Let me say that again. This is not some random game. Was it post game? Okay, that's
so
okay.
It came from, no, it's not okay, but they weren't sitting courtside like shining lasers.
All right. What are we doing?
Media get caught.
What are we doing? Like, is this what are the Grizzlies trying to be the bad boys? Now they're on a skid. They're good, man. They're exciting. They got good players. But they're kind of becoming pariahs, aren't they?
Yeah, the problem is that you don't become the bad boy Pistons by all the off the court junk. Like
Right.
the stuff that happened with Ja Morant and the Indiana Pacers, that was post game outside the arena. So apparently, some of Ja Morant's associates were threatening the Pacers and shined a laser at them. And what does that insinuate?
Yeah.
That might have been attached to a weapon. And that's the way Indiana felt. And that's where the investigation came down and why Ja Morant can't have his friends at the arenas now because of all this stuff going down. That is just bonkers stuff. Like, where if you're the Memphis Grizzlies, you have to sit down with Ja Morant and be like, who are you associating with at an NBA arena right now, man? You are a star player. You're the face of this
One of the
franchise.
faces of the league, too.
We have a chance to go to the Western Conference Finals. What is going on?
Yeah, you got to reel that mess in. You got to reel that mess in. And as much as you think that's cool and cavalier and whatever, put your word on it. I'm not playing that game. Put your word on it. Whatever you think it is, you need to reel your guys in, because this isn't cool. It's not fun. It's not working. And by the way, all of a sudden they're losing. And Dylan Brooks has to reel it in. Dude, Dylan Brooks can't be throwing. Isn't he the same dude who kicked Draymond in the junk during the playoffs last year?
Did he
I'm pretty
I
sure.
know Draymond's been kicking everyone.
Yeah,
I don't remember who kicked Draymond.
Pretty sure that happened. Donovan Mitchell went after him. It's not okay. All right, here's numbers for you. 505-246-0610. I guess
Is
I haven't
that
given
the
these out yet.
immediate? It's okay to go right after someone.
Yes.
For the
If a
cup
dude
check?
if a dude purposely hits you, like if you get hit on a drive and you catch a knee in the man zone, like okay, that happens. That's play. If a guy's going up for a rebound and you get hit, I don't know how you're going to get hit there, maybe a knee. But yeah, when a guy's rolling over and then extends his arm and junks you, yes. Don't you think?
And Donovan didn't do the hold me back. He just went straight at
and
Dylan
everybody
Brooks.
understands that it's okay for you to go after a dude after he hits you in the set. Right? Everybody understands that. That's not cool. That's who they are. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Twitter _JJ Buck at Part-Time Bro. And on the Facebook, the OD and the AM, you can watch the show there. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26, and that's where we are. We're going to hear from Steve Alford from yesterday, his press conference yesterday. Nevada's in town tonight. Lobo fan, where are you on this one? Because there's been a whole lot. Everybody's been hearing from Alford. He was on the news yesterday. He was on our show yesterday. And Steve's been very, very, I would say, complimentary, in a good mood. Steve was in
It's
a
like the
great
most open Steve Alford has ever been.
since he left, right? Or would you say even
Almost
period?
like ever.
Really? Yeah, I think that's right, because he's not on guard with the Albuquerque media like he always was when he was here. And he's been, he talked to Jeff Grammer. There was he talked to the media in Reno about it. He was in just a wonderful mood yesterday and super complimentary about here. So we're going to hear from Richard Pitino in the 8 o'clock hour about the game tonight and his thoughts on Steve and kind of his players' thoughts as well. 505-246-0610. Snowy today. That means your vehicle is going to be a little filthy once the storm gets through. Schedule with On the Spot Automotive Detailing now. Get your vehicle detailed as we start to head into spring. We're going to get past some of this junk weather, and you can get your vehicle looking, smelling, feeling like the day you took it off the lot with a detailing from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They come to you. So where it's convenient, when it's convenient, that's how this works. You don't take it to them. They come to you because you are busy. They detail your vehicle inside, outside, everywhere. Your vehicle is looking great. By the way, Valentine's Day is next week. You're looking for that gift that she or he is going to love. This is it. Great gifts are something that people are going to love. They don't buy for themselves. This is it. Ask them about ceramic coating as well. They apply it by hand. It's the best way to protect your paint for years, and On the Spot offers a lifetime warranty. Military, also 10% discount. Schedule today online, otsdetailing.com. It's otsdetailing.com, or you can call them at 505-859-2859. That's area code 505-859-2859.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
What were you shocked about?
That it snowed.
You had snow.
Oh, we had like an inch.
Yeah, we had a dusting. We
don't get that on the west side.
So there were more than one occasion when I was at Channel 13 doing the morning news and thinking, okay, then I would anchor the noon thinking I'm going home, and they're like, yeah, you're not done. I know you've been in since 4 a.m. and it's now 1. I need you to go down to Valencia County and find snow. What do you mean? So I went with a photographer. We'd get in the van and we'd go down, and I call back in. I said, "There's no snow here. There's nothing here." Well, you're the top of the show at 5 o'clock or 5 whatever time we're going. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, no, you're the lead at 5:30. Wait, I'm supposed to be off at 12:30. Yeah, whatever. And I would stand there. There's no snow, and I'd have to talk about there's no snow, and come up with something for a minute and a half. Oh, this is real. This is real. Go find snow. I've been there many, many, many times. No snow, but it was a little slick out there, so be careful. Dan says a new running style for the Lady Lobos, JJ. Big one for you when you headed to Boise on Thursday, right? Jeffrey, Juan Jose, y regresando Ana Maria. The Lady Lobos have suffered from slow starts this season, so Saturday they came away from the starting gate like their hair was on fire. Is this a change in strategy we can expect to see in the future?
Easier said than done. Of course, you'd like to go on 15-0 runs in the first quarter. Anytime you can.
Is that the new strategy? Let's go out. Let's hold them no points.
Yeah. San Diego State scores the first 4 points. They'll score the next 15.
Yeah.
That was the game plan.
All right. It's a good game plan. I'll tell you what. You won. It's a good game plan. Yesterday, Rudy called in, and he said he blamed Alford for the demise of Lobo basketball because he wanted Noodles, and he blamed him for that. And I said, I'm not sure. I think everybody at that time wanted Craig, right? The players did. The boosters did. It's hard for me to sit here and blame Alford for the demise of Lobo basketball. Omar says, I disagree with Rudy C. Jeff, I disagree. Alford was the cause that he was the cause of the downfall. You can't blame him that Kirk, Ryan Kirsten, Hugh Greenwood, etc. wanted Neil, or that Noodles decided to play his kid who frankly wasn't that good. Yeah, I if you want to go back in time, and even if you believed back at the time that Craig wasn't the guy, I did. I'll eat it. I was wrong. I absolutely did. Okay. And I thought, and I know, the boosters, there was a lot of pressure on Paul at the time. There were a lot of the sixth man saying, well, I'm pulling my money. If, Craig's earned this, and we got to keep it going, and we got to keep going with Steve's build, and Craig's the guy. I remember at that time, Cullen was committed to St. Mary's, right? Cullen wasn't even part of the equation at that time. But I've said this a lot. I wonder how successful Craig would have been if Cullen stayed at St. Mary's, played for Randy Bennett, and continued his career there. And that was because
that played a huge role.
It's a huge role
in it, and that's the problem. If you're going to be the coach's kid, you either have to be the best player, or bench guy.
Yep.
There's no in between.
And he
Colin Neal was a Division I basketball player.
Yes, he was.
But people didn't like his dad, and then so they overanalyzed.
See, I think it was backward. I think they
like,
started to not like his dad when Cullen started to not play up to what they were hoping he would play. I think people were on Noodle's side, and then when it soured, look, Craig is a human being. I think Craig got caught up in it. It's his kid. It's his job. It's his, Janet got caught up in a lot of this stuff. The family was thrust into this, and put yourself in this position. You're the head coach of the highest profile sports entity in the state. Your son is is a player, and it's a lightning rod, and people are just taking off on your kid. I've told you this.
Because St. Mary's doesn't take Colin Neal just to take Colin Neal.
No, he was a good player. Colin was a good player. I have never seen this town, and I've said this a number of times, turn on one of its own like it turned on Colin Neal. Well, what do you mean he's one of our... Well, he grew up here. That kid's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He played at El Dorado High School. He was one of the best high school basketball players this state has ever seen. You and I were talking about this yesterday. When La Cueva and El Dorado played each other, when Bryce and Cullen were playing each other, the gym sold out during the JV game. Like, it was a spectacle like we have rarely seen around here. Cullen was a good basketball player. He wasn't first of all, I always thought he was out of position. He wasn't a point guard. But that's where this whole thing went sour. And Craig, his demeanor turned. A lot of people who really supported him turned on him because he wasn't the same guy anymore. Like, it was a hard deal. But I always have wondered, would Craig have been successful if Cullen had stayed with his commitment to St. Mary's?
You get kind of the Bill Belichick vibe with Steve Alford and Craig Neal. Like, one of the assistants goes off, tries to do his thing, doesn't quite work, so it's like, let's go back where I'm comfortable.
Yeah, there's a little of that, but this was different. This was an insanely unique dynamic. They're in the pit tonight, Lobos and Nevada. We'll hear from Richard Pitino coming up when we return. Ready for that? Hey, Marie, can we do that when we return?
Yep.
All right, we'll hear a little of that. And a whole lot from Super Bowl 57. Yesterday was opening night. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, and Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Can yours?
Nelson, he's got 3 fouls, so he doesn't really want to be getting the ball.
The dagger. That's
Gomez!
Inside.
Pascal gives it up. Shot is up. Oh! Ball goes inside to Duke, guarded by Trujillo. Eli with the tip and the finish. Schermerhorn on the drive. Yes, strong fit.
She's going to got numbers. She's going to
1
make it.
second. She slips it in just a... Still some time. Montoya, plenty of room. Yes. Wide open long ball for Jason Montoya. Third. One against the screen. Ball fake, but rejected. Boom. Rejects it. Quickly, or if they hold for the final. Wyckoff, yes, count the basket. A chance at a three-point play for Wyckoff, and a free throw is coming up.
Catch and shoot.
D. Hill, give it to the hot hand. Why not?
We're happy for the boys, And oh boy.
I guess they knew about it. One more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Bob.
Well, it's one of those nights that I know Lobo fan looks forward to, and you circle on the calendar. And now the fact that it means so much makes this even a bigger night. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and A. Marie. Thank you for being with us on a little bit of a snowy, chilly Tuesday morning. Dusting of snow maybe where you are. Roads are slick. Give yourself a little bit of time as you come in this morning. Nevada and New Mexico tonight at the Pit, 8:30 scheduled kickoff, probably closer to 8:45 because it'll be the late game on Fox.
Big East game is running late.
Yeah, go triple overtime to watch Creighton versus Seton Hall. Steve Alford, Craig Neal coming back down that ramp, and in a game that matters, in a game that is super important to both teams as you get ready for not only the conference tournament but the NCAA tournament, hopefully for both of these teams.
St. John's at Butler.
Is that what it is? I wasn't wrong. I was really close. I mean, I had the regions really really close, didn't I? Yeah. And so we heard from Steve Alford yesterday. And again, if you missed the Alford conversation yesterday, I thought Steve was in a really good mood, super complimentary, talkative, engaging yesterday. Like Steve's really good with the media. Steve has always been polished. But I thought he's been engaging. He was open, did a podcast with Jeff Grammer and spent some time with us yesterday. It's on JJ's Twitter, _JJ Buck. It's on our website. If you want to go to sportsanimалabq.com, you can do that there. But Richard Pitino spoke yesterday as well. And for the Lobos, they're coming off that trip to Logan. They've had a week off, and it was probably a good time for them. If you recall, there's two in this league. There's two quote-unquote bye slots, right? You play midweek and a weekend. So that's a Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you play Friday or Saturday. And there was two scheduled for each team in an 11-team league, and they used the first one to play Oral Roberts. So this is really the first kind of week off that they've had in a while. And Richard said, coming off the Utah State game last week and what happened up there, this is probably a good time and a good week for them.
Necessary. Utah State is always kind of a challenging trip. It's a hard place to play, and Utah State's a terrific team. There's about 4 or 5 teams. They could beat anybody. And Utah State, when they're on like that offensively, was terrific. So took a day off, and I've had some really good practice. I've gotten better, and now prepared for a big one tomorrow.
I'm not big on you need to, there's good losses. I'm not there. And I don't even know that I think this was one of those situations where a team needed to get beat, because I think over some seasons I'm like, wow, you know what? Teams getting a little full of themselves, they need to get beat. I don't even think that was the situation here. But I just think that was a night where they didn't look good. Utah State was terrific. I'm not ready to tell you the sky is falling, but I don't mind having a week off after that and regrouping and resetting for the home stretch.
Especially when it's on the road. I think it's a little different when you're at home. If you have a quick turnaround and then you get back on the court and playing, but then with the travel involved, you're okay with a couple extra days. So I think last week the Thursday night game for the women, go out there and get plastered by UNLV, right, but you get to come back, get on the court Saturday at home. So I think that's the difference. Is if you're on the road, get back home, reset, take your time, and then refocus.
Yeah, and now you've got the stretch. You've got 4 weeks left, then the conference tournament, And like Steve used to say all the time, I mean, you've got the non-conference, and then you got 4 seasons: the non-conference, conference play, conference tournament, and hopefully a postseason. And you got the home stretch for this. All right, all the noise, and that's not fair. A lot of the noise, a lot of the talk is about Steve Alford coming back. Look, Steve Alford did great things when he was at New Mexico. The program, some of you think that was the glory years of this program. It depends on your age. It was, right? For many of you, for many of us, it was the glory age. That was the most successful the program has been during Steve's tenure here. And so it's funny. Well, for you, this is a big deal. For a lot of the players, they're probably like, who's that guy on the other side? Like, who is that dude? Richard was asked about Steve and his thoughts on Steve Alford.
John Wooden could be coaching and my players wouldn't care. I mean, they just don't. It's no disrespect to Coach Alford, but like they don't. He was here, 10 years ago? That's like an eternity to these young people. For me, I've kind of experienced maybe what Coach Alford has in a different extent with my dad leaving Kentucky and then going back to Louisville. Coach Alford did amazing things here in 6 years. Coach Neal, I got a lot of respect for both of those guys. It's just part of the profession where, there's the old expression, it never ends well, because if it didn't, it wouldn't end, right? I mean, and so it rarely ends the way we all want it to end. Whether it was my dad leaving Kentucky to go to the Boston Celtics, amazing opportunity. Coach Alford obviously going to UCLA, amazing opportunity. I understand it. But I know fans are very, very passionate, and they love their Lobos, and they love the state of New Mexico, and I get it. But I've got a lot of respect for Coach Alford, what he's done. I think he's a terrific coach. He's a good guy, built a great program, and he was one of the reasons why, because I had a similar path. Although I was fired at Minnesota, Iowa, he had some good years, but it was kind of similar to what we were going through. And I felt like Coach Alford came in here and just did an amazing job, and I feel like we can do the same thing. So I don't tell fans what to think or what to do. I just hope they show up and cheer on the Lobos. So I got nothing but respect for him.
Richard's so good. And I've told you this a number of times. I really, really like his demeanor, and I like what he says. And I also am going to ask you to remember back when Richard was hired, and people were, do you remember these conversations? People were comparing him to Fran Fraschilla because he had an East Coast accent. And I said, I think a better comparison, and I know I said this at the time, and I know you remember this. I think a better comparison is Steve Alford. Coming from a Big Ten where he had success, and then it wasn't going well at the end. Steve didn't get fired, but it wasn't rosy when he left there. And he might have been on the path to getting fired at Iowa. I told you at the time, a better comparison for Richard is look at Steve Alford. And I think so far it's kind of played out that way, don't you?
It has. Just coming in with the right mindset, the ability to attack the transfer portal, the connections that he made at Minnesota have carried over to the Lobos, and so far so good this year.
I think that he said all the right things. I think that he acknowledged what Steve and Craig did, and put it into his perspective. I'm so appreciative of the way Richard handles things. I think his demeanor of not getting too high or too low is perfect, and I think this team kind of has his personality, don't you? You don't see, aside from House, who's just emotional, you don't see these guys getting just super, super hyped at a big win. You don't see them getting just beat to hell after losing in double overtime at Nevada, right?
Yeah, and it's the balance. It's the backcourt, the yin and yang of Mashburn Jr. and Jalen House. The experience of the front court players. You do see a solid demeanor from this basketball team.
Yeah. All right, talk about the Nevada game last time, 2 weeks ago. And what do you learn from that? We heard Steve yesterday talk about the end of the game and asked him how it ended, and I thought his answer was really good. Richard has certainly gone back. Like, they're playing that same team, that team that they went toe-to-toe with. Despite what you thought of the ending, that double overtime game was a hell of a basketball game to watch, right? That was great entertainment and a high-level game, and they've certainly looked back at that game.
No, we dissect it every play, and we evaluate what we did well, what we think may work again, what may not work. We've shown a lot of film on it. We'll show a little bit more film on it today and learn from it. So rarely, especially this early in the process, do you get to, the old flush it and don't even watch it. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams made a lot of great plays.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I think you get another entertaining game tonight. I got I don't know if it was an email I saw it earlier. Somebody said, Nevada's they're a different team away from Lawler. They get blued out of the built tonight, right? I don't know if they get blued out of the built tonight. It's a 4-point spread. Buddy in Reno says, I'm not sure that's enough.
They've lost their last 3 road games.
They've struggled a bit on the road.
That's one of the things that Steve Alford talked about multiple times yesterday. Just the character of his team on the road hasn't been where it needs to be.
Well, and that's the key to becoming a great team, right? What is a great team? You are able to travel. Steve's teams did that when he was here. Hasn't been able to do that this year at Nevada as much. But this league, again, I think I told you yesterday, the top 5 teams in this league, combined home records are 59-4. Teams are not losing at home, and that's why tonight's so big for New Mexico. So Richard was asked, is your team a great team?
I think we've had some really good moments. I think the key to being a great team is, okay, you lost one at Utah State, go win the next one. Don't allow it to be 2 in a row, 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 out of 7, whatever. Because we've shown, we've had some of the best wins in the country, at St. Mary's and at San Diego State. Teams don't do that. But it's a matter of great teams do it all the time. We're still so early in the process of building that who knows that's the case, but we want sustained success. We haven't had stretches like weeks where we've been really bad. Like we lost 1 in a row, so for me, it's just a matter of getting off the mat and getting back to work. So you never arrive. If you ever feel as though you've arrived, you stop working, and that's always been my mentality.
I don't know if they're great, and I think they're really good. But he talks about sustained success, and I think Lobo fan is really starving for immediate success. And JJ, walk with me on this one, because I think Lobo fan B wants sustained success. They expect this program to be. But I think they want immediate success because there's been such a drought, and because I think they see the urgency in the moment. You've got a team that's put together, irregardless of this is the second year of Richard Pitino. I think there's a couple reasons why they want immediate success first, sustained success second. You've got this dynamic backcourt. You've got these 2 bigs. You've got a roster put together that I kind of feel Lobo fan thinks in today's college basketball, man, you got to think year to year. Is this roster going to be together next year? And B, I think there's a little bit of uncertainty, insecurity, uneasiness. Is Richard going to be around long enough to sustain success here? As much as I do think he likes it here, right? I think Lobo fan is just a little bit, is trepidatious a word? I mean, I think there's just this angst that is he going to be around? And we've got something now. They've got to capitalize on it this year.
It's 2-year windows, I think, right now in college basketball, of like getting that first class and then filling the holes. And that's exactly what Richard Pitino did. Got his backcourt in last year, then he looked at it, he was like, all right, we need some forwards. Boom. Hit the transfer portal. And that's what you're able to do. And what you laid out is if the Lobos are very successful this season, if they win a game, maybe even 2, in the NCAA tournament, Richard Pitino's name is going to be out there. He's going to be receiving calls.
I think it's already good. I mean, just the success
in the offseason. Yeah. And then so you're looking at that and understanding that the time is now. And I know Richard Pitino talks about building and rebuilding where they are in the process. They're in the process right now to attack this season.
Yeah. And that's why I tell you, I think Lobo fan is, they want sustained success, B. But I think they want immediate A, because sustained is so, who knows? Who knows? All right, 505-246-0610. Got a sweet deal for you coming up. I want to hear what you have to say. We're going to get back into some NFL stuff. The talk, I think the big stuff that came out of the Super Bowl yesterday was Jeffrey Lurie saying, the owner of the Eagles, basically without somewhat committing to Jalen Hurts long term. I know you have thoughts on the Super Bowl as well. But Lobos and Wolfpack tonight, big one with, again, with Stephen Craig coming back, but really because the game means so much. So I want to hear from you at 505-246-0610. Hey, are you a business owner? Do you like free government money? If so, listen up. The federal government has promised over $100 billion in tax refunds for small and medium-sized businesses that kept employees on payroll through COVID. So business owners are eligible for the employee retention credit even if you received PPP funds. Refundspro.com. It's refundspro.com. Specializes in cutting through the red tape for this government program and makes qualifying quick and easy. So Refunds Pro does all the heavy lifting, and most refunds, listen to me, are over $100,000. Could you use that money right about now? Bet you can. There's no downside to apply. There's no fees unless you receive a refund. Now, refundspro.com has helped hundreds of businesses qualify, and the best part is you don't have to pay a penny back to the government. This is as close as it gets to free government money. There is a deadline, so visit refundspro.com and get started before it's too late. Refundspro.com. That is refundspro.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Super week. Boy, do we got super deal for you coming up, a super sweet deal. Just a few minutes, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. You can respond to what you heard from Richard Pitino or Steve Alford yesterday. And, of course, everything you heard at opening day at Super Bowl opening day. Used to be called Media Day. Jeff, JJ, Amory. Hey, thank you for being with us. Appreciate you taking the time to spend time on the phones with us, listen to us, send us correspondence. It means a lot. I know you got a lot that you could be doing every single day, and it means a lot that you opted to spend some time with us. And you remember that you listen to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Edward, thanks for holding. Good day. Hello, Edward.
Yes, sir. Good content today. I'll go rapid fire real quick. That was a great interview by both coaches. Real quick on Lobo fans. Don't be the scorned ex-lover. You're a woman, or your man left you for a better-looking woman, speaking of Alford. And since then, that better-looking woman since divorced Alford, and he's moved on to a woman kind of comparable to you. And the schadenfreude that you demonstrate, Lobo fans, rooting against this guy, it only hurts you. There's some drugstore psychology for you. I'm rooting for both programs, and I think good things are coming the Lobo way, and I love the Lobo coach. So NFL, because I'm West, to Phoenix probably tomorrow. I'm going to give you a quick prediction. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to win it 31-20. People will say they got lucky with their path through the Giants and a hurt quarterback with the Niners. I believe the Chiefs got lucky. I think they got lucky. They avoided the Chargers, even though Jacksonville was a viable, candidate to beat them. And they played the Bengals, who had 80% of their offensive line out. 4 of their 5 starters were out. And that dictated the game. I think Philadelphia has one loss with Jalen Hurts on a really bad penalty at the end of a game. Other than that, he hasn't lost this year. So I think 31-20, succinctly. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win their second Super Bowl in 5 years.
Okay.
Real quick on LeBron James. I know that people don't relate to him. I know some people don't like him. I'm not even talking about this program. I'm just saying in general.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at the scoring record, I think people are downplaying it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, universally, people recognize his shot as the most indefensible shot in the history of basketball. And LeBron James is going to pass him, if not tonight, tomorrow, whenever they play again. Will Chamberlain was a phenomenal athlete decades before his time. He passed him. Of course, Jordan, and you can go down the list. For him to have this level of sustainable excellence over 20 years, which, by the way, his career average, or his average this year, matches his career average. And he's in 2 or 3 years, he's going to put this out of reach. Now, you may not like him, but this is a significant accomplishment in the history of sports. And by the way, he's number 4 in the all-time in assists, and he's probably going to pass Chris Paul.
Hey, how
And
many?
I just looked it up.
What is the average from 3-point?
Go ahead, Jeff.
How many 3-point shots is the average per game? Because that's the only argument. Well, there is no argument. I mean, he's going to be there. The numbers are going to be the numbers. The JT brought this up yesterday. There was no Kareem hit 1 3-point shot in his career, and so he's got the advantage of the 3-point shooting. But I don't think that downplays it. I don't think this makes it any less significant.
In his career, he's attempted 6,400 and he's made 2,200.
Yeah.
So I don't have a percentage rate, but you're right. Kareem
That's
only,
but that's 2,200. That's 2,200 more points. That's
but
2,200.
my point is, I think that this is being downplayed. And just a quick comparison: when Peyton Manning and Drew Brees broke all-time passing records, they stopped the game. They did a victory tour around the field. When Tom Brady broke those records, they didn't even stop the game. I'm not even sure they took the football out of the game. And it's just about relatability, I think a lot of people don't like LeBron, which is fine.
Right.
He's not everybody's taste. But in the grand scheme of things, guys, this is significant accomplishment in sports, and people need to, celebrate it, because we won't see it again for probably 50 years.
I
Thank
agree
you
with
for taking my call.
All right,
Enjoy the
the
Super Bowl.
yeah,
friends.
enjoy the trip. See you. I think that's right. And whether you like them or not, the numbers are what the numbers are. So he said 2,200 threes. So that's just 2,200 more points, right? It's one more point per shot.
That's how LeBron was able to get there in fewer games.
Right,
too.
right. That's.
I think it doesn't downplay LeBron. I think it only magnifies Kareem and just how impressive it was to get to that number.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair, and it should be celebrated. All right, how you celebrating big game? We can call it the Super Bowl here, right? Because we have the Super Bowl on our radio station. But if you're going to watch it, would you like to watch it with, I don't know, one of the best spots in town? Would you like to watch it with TVs everywhere? Would you like to watch it with drink specials? Or even if it's not for this weekend, would you like a sweet deal at Salt Yards West for just $25? You get $50 worth of goodness at the best sports bar in the city, voted one of the best places to have your private events. It is the Salt Yards. George is here. It's good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
It's been a little too long. How you living?
You know, it was a very busy weekend, but, you know, getting ready for just the rest of the year is insane right now.
Well, the rest of the year, since it's February, what is it, February 7th? You got a whole lot of rest of the year left. I know you got a big weekend coming up for we can call it Super Bowl, whatever you guys call it, the big game over there, the big super weekend.
The big game, yeah. It's going to be a busy, fun weekend. We're excited to invite everyone over. Obviously, you've got that big, huge screen in the main yard, like 27 screens all around. So, and then fun games for the whole family.
And that's something like with all the different games, the shuffleboards and the ping pong. So this is family stuff. If mommy, daddy want to, or whoever want to go have a drink and the kids have a place to go. I mean, this is something for the whole family, isn't it?
It is. It's really funny, actually, because last weekend we had tons of parents, and they're at the bar. Kids are falling down on the turf, but hey, it's turf.
That's right.
Kids are resilient.
They bounce back.
Yeah.
They bounce back. For people who don't know where you are, Salt Yards West is where?
It's 3700 Ellison.
Yep.
It is on the corner of Alameda and Ellison, and huge parking lot. You can't miss the huge sign, and you can actually see the screen from the road. So
it's kind of become the spot on the west side, hasn't it?
It is. It is. We're really excited. And then, of course, we've got the venue that's attached to that. So we've been doing a lot of private events. In fact, we hosted Nusenda on Sunday. 450 people.
That's all?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful space. All right. So if you're looking for your next night out, if you're looking for big screens or a lot of seating or great food, everyone can choose from the food, the drinks, the wonderful menus, the events that they've got there. They're serious about having fun. So catch the next big fight, the next big game over at Salt Yards West. What's your favorite thing there? How long have you been out there?
It's been a year and a half now.
What's your favorite meal? I know you've eaten a few meals there now.
Okay, so seriously, on Saturday night, it was a long day, and I had the pickle fries.
Pickle fries.
They are amazing.
Look at you. That piqued your interest, didn't it?
I'll give them a try. I'm not a pickle guy.
Okay, pickles. I'm not either. Yeah. But pickle fries are different, right?
They are, because I'm the same way.
I'm not a pickle guy either, but the pickle fries.
I'm in.
Yes.
You have to come out and have them.
Yeah. All right. Here's what we got. It's your sweet deal. It is Salt Yards West. So what you do, go to our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Do it at 9 o'clock because these are going to go, and you're going to hit it at 9:10, and you're going to go, what happened? They're gone. They will go quickly. 9 o'clock, sportsanimалabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon, and for just $25, $50 worth of everything that Salt Yard West has to offer. Hey, it's good to see you. Enjoy
Likewise,
the tour around Radio Ranch. Congratulations on the success, and have fun this weekend. I know you guys will.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If it's not already, make it your spot on the west side. It is the best spot on the west side. Salt Yards West. Take advantage of our sweet deal. It goes live at 9 o'clock. All right, you can get back in at 505-246-0610. It's area code 505-246-0610. And we're going to get – I got more on what Edward was talking about because I got a lot of thoughts on whose path was easier. Did somebody get lucky to get to the Super Bowl? I'm not sure I think that. But I think – Hey, Marie, I think you'd agree. Every path includes a little luck, right?
Absolutely.
No matter whose path, whether it was the Rams last year, that's kind of part of it. But you got to take advantage of it because I could tell you teams that kind of probably thought they were getting lucky and they didn't. So what does that all mean? And then I got more on LeBron's record that's going to happen tonight. And Edward was talking about whether you like him, whether you don't. I think we all can appreciate it, but JJ, you just said something that's really interesting. It's going to make people appreciate Kareem more, and I hope that is true. And I want you to elaborate more on that because how will people get to that spot? All right, don't forget the sweet deal, right at 9 o'clock. Also want you to remember about IPS, International Protective Service. IPS protects my home. They are private, affordable security. Why? Well, you know why. I mean, the property crime is on the rise in this town. Officer shortage continues to be an issue, and IPS has watched my homes and hundreds of other homes and businesses for a long time. They give my family peace of mind. They give my neighbors peace of mind. They keep the bad guys away. When I go out of town, they do exterior checks, pick up newspapers, mail, packages, whatever it is you need. They'll roll the garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day and just give your home that lived-in look. Look, you've worked too hard to build what you've got. Don't let the bad guys just come in and take it away. Committed to our city and to your protection, call IPS, International Protective Service, 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
App Store. Just search KNML.
You know, by the way, Richard Pitino said something in a clip we just played, and if you didn't hear it, he was talking about Steve Alford. I may want to replay that one again, Emery. He was asked about Steve Alford, and he made a little bit of an analogy that, JJ, I'm not sure I thought about. I don't know that I ever correlated the two. And Richard was able to really put these things into perspective, and he said, you know, he's kind of feels like he's experiencing a little bit of what Alford went through. They both came from the Big Ten at their previous stop and came in here when the program was down a bit, and they're seeing some success relatively quickly, and it is analogous. But he talked about Steve getting a great opportunity at UCLA, and we've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours over the last 10 years talking about Steve Alford's opportunity to UCLA and how many people would have taken it and would not. And I never put it in this perspective. Richard said it was, you know, a unique or special opportunity when his dad, Rick Pitino, left Kentucky to go to the Boston Celtics. Now you're going to tell me, well, Jeff, UCLA is the Boston Celtics, and I will tell you, it's not. It's I mean, damn near the Boston Celtics of college basketball, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those opportunities that probably everybody who came up in that profession dreamed about at some point. Amory, do you have it available? I can play this again, and I know we played it about a half hour ago, but if you didn't hear it, I want you. This was Steve. He was asked about. This is Richard Pitino asked about Steve Alford, and he'll start out talking about, you know, his players don't know much about it. It doesn't matter to the players, but then he went into what his feeling is on Stephen Craig.
John Wooden could be coaching and my players wouldn't care. You know, I mean, they just don't. It's no disrespect to Coach Alford, but like they don't. He was here 10 years ago. That's like an eternity to these young people. For me, I've kind of experienced maybe what Coach Alford has in a different extent with my dad leaving Kentucky and then going back to Louisville. Coach Alford did amazing things here in 6 years. Coach Neal, I got a lot of respect for both of those guys. It's just part of the profession where, there's the old expression, it never ends well, because if it didn't, it wouldn't end, right? I mean, and so it rarely ends the way we all want it to end. Whether it was my dad leaving Kentucky to go to the Boston Celtics, amazing opportunity. Yeah. Coach Alford obviously going to UCLA, amazing opportunity. I understand it. But I know fans are very, very passionate, and they love their Lobos, and they love the state of New Mexico, and I get it. But I've got a lot of respect for Coach Alford, what he's done. I think he's a terrific coach. He's a good guy, built a great program, and he was one of the reasons why, because I had a similar path. Although I was fired in Minnesota, Iowa, he had some good years, but it was kind of similar to what we were going through. And I felt like Coach Alford came in here and just did an amazing job And I feel like we can do the same thing. So I don't tell fans what to think or what to do. I just hope they show up and cheer on the Lobos. So I got nothing but respect for him.
So I can't tell you how good I think that answer is. You know, I just it was respectful but confident. It was not condescending but secure. It was complimentary and I thought he saw and it gave a perspective, and he does have a perspective that very few of us have, right? He does share somewhat of the same stuff that Steve did, which should make you feel good. Again, I'm going to tell you, when the comparisons were made when Richard was hired, oh, it's Fran Fraschilla. No, I told you. I think this is more Steve Alford comparison, where he's coming from. And I think you kind of feel that way midway through the second year. But I can't tell you, JJ, how good I think that answer is with the perspective. And I'd never put it into the perspective of his dad leaving for the Celtics. And you can sit here and tell me, Jeff, he didn't leave for the Celtics. You're right. He left for a lot of money, and he left for one of the premier jobs in college basketball. Now, did it work? Retrospect is so good. And maybe it did work. I mean, he made $16 million, didn't he? Right?
Yeah. It didn't work to the expectations that UCLA has for their program.
Did he go to a Final Four?
But
did his kid leave there as the second leading scorer in the history of the school?
When it's one of those that Lobo fans are going to be upset. They're going to have that extra of them. Oh, that microphone. But for Alford, it was the right move for him at that point in time. Because guess what? He can always come back to the Mountain West.
Yeah, and he did. And the other, and he can go back a lot of places.
Yep.
The other perspective is really interesting, and Richard's right. I'm not going to tell fans how to respond. You feel how you need to feel, and that's cool, right? If I tell you I feel a certain way, and JJ feels a certain way, and your buddy feels a certain way, you don't have to feel any of those ways.
Well, does it, for Lobo fans, do they feel like it wasn't the right move because of how poorly it went for the Lobos after the fact?
I think that's a big part of it, right? Like Rudy called in yesterday and said, I blame him for the demise because he wanted noodles, right?
For Steve Alford, you go to UCLA, you're thinking national championship. All right, you didn't get that. But you won basketball games, you advanced in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
You got money. From his perspective, did he fall short? I'm sure he feels like he did fall short at UCLA.
Well, sure, and whenever, like Richard just said, it doesn't
because
end
the
well.
Lobos were bad under Craig Neal, it doesn't change the decision for Steve Alford.
Mm-hmm. I think it's two separate things. I know some of you don't, but I think it's totally two separate things. And again, I'll take you back, and we've had this conversation countless times. When Steve left, there were candidates. I believed at the time, and it worked out how it worked. I believed that Craig was the right guy. I thought he had earned that position. He had been a long-time assistant, long-time number two. Rudy called in yesterday and said, Doug Ash couldn't take over for Dave Bliss. Doug Ash was Dave Bliss's number two for 25, 30 years, right? I'll give you another example, though, that it did work. Brian Dutcher was Steve Fisher's number two at Michigan and San Diego State for 25 years. Steve Fisher stepped down. Brian Dutcher's done a pretty damn good job as head coach at San Diego State, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
I mean, I'll give you a situation. For everyone you're going to give me that didn't work, I'll give you one that did. So I thought Craig was ready. The people close to the program were adamant that Craig was ready. And again, it worked out the way it did. And I think the wild card in that whole thing is, if Cullen would have stayed at St. Mary's, who knows what would have happened. But it played the way it did. And to me, they're two separate things. But again, you got to feel the way you got to feel. And as Richard said, Lobo fans are passionate about their Lobos. That's how they feel, and that's what's got to come first. Yeah, they tell you all the time the name on the front of your jersey is more important than the name on your back, right? It's kind of that situation. But I never put it into the context of Rick Pitino leaving to go to the Celtics and how fans there felt about it, right?
That is interesting.
Yeah. I can't tell you how well I think Richard handles himself in media settings and what he says, whether it's, and I've been with him, I've called games the last 2 years. I probably called 7 games, 5 last year, 2 this year. I've been with Richard post game, after losses, after wins, been in media rooms. I think his demeanor is so good. and he's cerebral, and he doesn't let emotion take over. And I think that shows in his basketball team. I think that's why they're so mature. I think that's why they handle themselves pretty well in key situations, because they tell you all the time, teams tend to take on the personality of their head coach. If you want to get in, 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. Emails this morning, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. And on the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck. Business owners. Hell, you don't have to be a business owner. Anybody. Computers, networks, are they secure? Are you sure they're secure, like really secure? Give ABQ IT a call. ABQ IT. You've got to know your system's protected from hackers and cybercrime. A gap in your cybersecurity can do major damage to your business, and that threat is absolutely real. ABQ IT provides a thorough look at your computer security. They will tell you where you are at risk. ABQ IT created a business model designed to protect you from malicious threats, keep your computers up to date, and do it all at one affordable cost. And listen to this, because you got to know this. By June 9th, many of you are going to have to ensure the personal data of your customers is protected. Are you aware of the FTC safeguards rule? Your business can face penalties if you're not compliant by the deadline. With ABQ IT, you will be prepared. There's no hourly rate or no labor billing, no hidden fees. Your rate will be predictable. It will not change. You've got to protect your business. It's not worth the risk thinking, hoping bad things won't happen to you. Trust the experts in cybersecurity and compliance. Visit them online at abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
How much you get out of opening night at Super Bowl? Did you watch it all? It was hard, right? I mean, maybe you caught clips of it, little bits of it. That's a highlight watch. Don't you think? That's a hard one to watch live. But if you did, love to hear from you. Number to get in is 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Lobos in Nevada tonight over on News Radio KKOB, 8 o'clock pregame. 8:30 is when they'll tip, or at least they're scheduled to. Hey, Mike, good morning. How are you?
Good morning in this beautiful city of Albuquerque. Hey, I did want to reach out and say, hey, Alford was good for this program, and there's no doubt that's not even questionable. I traveled 2 different times to go watch them play in the NCAA. Didn't pan out too well, but you know what? They gave us a great show that year. They were always competitive. They won on the road all the time. I love the team that we had. I love who we have now. I think they can go a long ways. I mean, we have the potential of getting far, you know. But this is what I really wanted to say was, you know, we all worry about coaches leaving and stuff, and it's really, you know, I think for the most part, the program we have here, the facility that we have is top notch. I mean, the difference between us and other places is the money. I mean, how you know, when you're paying coaches under $1 million or $1 million, and other places are paying 3 and 4. What would you do if you were that coach? Would you stay, or would you kind of pull it over and then finally realize you got to look at your family first?
Yep.
So I think we need to look at. We have these luxury boxes. They shortened. They decreased the seating. These moves are possibly great, maybe, but have they panned out? Are they getting the monies necessary to keep?
So you know what I'd like to see, Mike, and it's a really good question. People really complain about the suites. Now that they're selling, right? I'd like to see what the revenue numbers are. So for instance, you're saying you took out roughly 2,500 seats. What are we, 15,411, and we used to be 18,111, so 15, 16, 17, so about 2,500 seats. If you'd have sold those seats at whatever, you know, you'd have been selling those seats at upstairs, regular seats, as opposed to now that you're selling the suites, I got to believe you're coming out ahead now that you're actually selling the suites.
Well, I mean, the plan, really what the fans should be talking about is what are we doing at UNM? Obviously, getting the football program better is going to help huge.
Yep.
But you know, you got to pay these guys. I mean, it sounds like everyone, you know, obviously what we make and when you compare what coaches make, but if we want to be the best, you got to pay the man, and that's just the way it's got to be.
That's the truth,
I mean,
Mike.
these guys will leave for the money. They may hate it. I mean, I know they love this town. Allenberger loved it. I mean, Bobby Knight, those guys used to come down fishing in the San Juan River all the time. It's a great state. And I think if you pay these guys, if you pay the coaches, you're going to get great coaches. You're not going to worry every year about losing them when they have a winning season.
Yeah. But how are you going to do that?
Pit,
but how are you going to do that, man? And appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate it. How are you going to do that, right? the football money that's at the SEC and the Pac-12, right? When they gave Steve, you were giving him $1 million a year. They gave him 2.3 or 2.6. How are you doing that? Chris Jans left New Mexico State for 2.3 guaranteed at Mississippi State plus incentives. Like even if you want to pay him, $1 million too, how are you stopping them from doing what they're going to do? And this is going to be a long-term conversation. But if you're doubling or tripling your money, and you got opportunities in to further your career, I mean, I don't disagree with him. I think people love coaching here. I got time for this? Sherman, good morning. Hey, Sherman.
Hey. So I've changed my mind about Steve Alford since yesterday. He did not go to UCLA because everybody wants to coach at John Wooden School. He did not go for the money. He went because he knew it would guarantee we would talk about him for the next 25 years.
Yeah, but because if he was here, we wouldn't talk about him. That's right, sure.
All right. Have a good one.
See you. I mean, that's funny. If you gave, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, and maybe it'll be the 30 for 30 with Steve Alford in 20 years when he's done. My gut tells me he would tell you this has been his favorite place to coach. Right? That he had his best time here. His kids were raised here. Like he told you yesterday, both married Albuquerque girls. I'm not going to tell you he regrets taking the job at UCLA. I don't think he does. I don't think he does at all, and not just because of the money, right? But and not that he doesn't like Reno, not that he didn't like Iowa, not that he didn't like Manchester. Do you think I'm wrong on that?
I think that's a fair assumption.
Now, what does that mean? Richard Pitino's team's playing his tonight. How you like your Lobos tonight? You like your Lobos tonight? 4-point favorite, I think, is what the number is, Marie.
Yes.
Basic Better's going to tell you maybe what she thinks.
Yes.
Maybe she'll
I'm
tell
taking
you.
money line. I'm not touching the spread.
All right, I'm interested. 505-246-0610. I'm going to reset you with the NFL stuff. Could tonight be the night LeBron overtakes Kareem, and JJ is going to explain why he thinks maybe this will help people appreciate Kareem Abdul-Jabbar even more. It's the opening drive. Thanks for being with us on a beautiful Tuesday on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Bach.
So I got my favorite call of the week already. Sherman, no doubt. Sherman just called in and said, I changed my take on Alford. He didn't leave for the money or the opportunity. He left so we talk about him for the next 25 years. Might be right. Look, man, he's coming back in today. It'd be the same way. I don't know if y'all remember this. I think there was a NIT when Dave Bliss left for Baylor years and years ago. I'm pretty sure the Lobos, and in fact, I'm quite certain. So this has to be, 2001, 2, 3, right in there. Lobos played Baylor in the NIT in the pit, and Dave Bliss came back, and it was the same way. I mean, it was talk about Dave Bliss and for forever, and guys here makes an impact. You're gonna talk about it. That's just how it's gonna be. If you played Liberty and Richie McKay came in, there'd be a little talk about it, but not quite like this. When a guy makes an impact like that, it's like you did with Rocky Long. It was the same thing, right? When San Diego State was coming back, and that's just how it is, man. The guy made an impact, but you've moved on, and now you're back in a place where it matters not simply because he is coming in.
It's just a layer.
It's just a layer. Well,
it's a branch on the topic tree for this game, because this is so much more than just Steve Alford's return. It's two really good basketball teams. It's the Lobos fighting to stay alive in the conference race. If they go to 6-5,
they're not winning the league.
They're not winning the league. No. You're still going to be like, man, they're a good basketball team, but they've lost 5 times in conference. And then you're looking
twice
up,
at home.
And everyone, you got San Diego State's 9-2. All those other teams 8-3, and then building on that, you lose potential tiebreaker to Nevada in the standings moving forward.
Here's the reality: you lose tonight, you're on a bubble, and you're probably out of mulligans, right?
Yeah.
If you don't,
you already can't lose.
Yeah.
The other games.
Right. That's Friday night at Clune. Yeah.
Because you have 3 marquee opportunities left in the regular season.
Yes.
For the Lobos.
That's Nevada at home, San Diego State at home, and Boise State on the road.
Because right now, you look at the updated bracket yesterday from Jerry Palm. These are 2 9 seeds battling it out tonight.
And that's not secure.
Bubble teams. Yep.
It's just not secure. All right. If you want to get in, you can. 505-246-0610. Thanks for being with us today. Text line says, and that's 505-246-0610. Text line says, if Lobos lose tonight, they will miss an NCAA bid. I don't know that that's absolute. In fact, I would tell you that is not absolute, but that's a prediction. This will not be a bad loss. It is a missed opportunity for a quad 1 win, right? And you have 2 bad losses on your resume right now. Fresno State's UNLV is not a bad loss, right?
UNLV's top 100 net team right now.
Okay, so that's not a bad loss.
83.
All right, so that's not a bad. You have 1 bad loss. The San Jose State loss.
Fresno State.
I'm sorry, Fresno State. Yeah, that you go to San Jose next week.
It doesn't knock them out. It just pushes them a little down that bubble.
Well,
it shrinks your margin for error. Now, the good thing is this conference is really good at the top, and so there's opportunities to get a couple back. You're going to have a few more chances in Las Vegas. But if you're not able to get at least 2 more marquee wins, might be sweating a little bit on
Yeah.
Selection Sunday.
Yeah, no, you will be.
Yeah.
You absolutely will be. Look, I'm going to tell you, winning of the three of them, of the three games that you just said are opportunities, would you not agree this is your best opportunity to win? If you're going to say they're going to win one of them, now I think they're going to win more than one, but this would be like going to Boise is going to be a chore. Going to not only because teams are not winning on the road in this league. Again, I'm going to give you the number. The top 5 teams in this league are 59-4 at home. They're not losing at home. So going to Boise is going to be a chore. And look, man, San Diego State coming in here, you beat them there. That's a team that plays well on the road. I'm not telling you you can't beat them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm going to say that's a chore too. This is your best opportunity of the three.
Well, it's all the narratives. If you're looking at it for New Mexico, you've got to get one back against Nevada. They're coming to the pit. They're coming to the home court. Boise State's going to be saying the same thing.
Yes.
San Diego State's is saying the same thing.
Yes.
Mexico still won.
And they're all good. Boise State's good, man. Going up there, and they're going to have the whole baseball team thing to lean on, and they're going to motivate themselves. And Leon's going to get everybody fired up again about the baseball team standing outside and how they got robbed and how, right? And San Diego State, that's their only home loss of the year. And by the way, they're really freaking good.
Wilbur's going to walk out of the locker room. It's going to be the football team. And
Yeah.
every Olympic sport athlete available
And every-
standing there.
There's all the,
What?
Do they have a golf team? Do they? I don't even know. All right. Super Bowl injuries. We got Chiefs and Eagles both in Arizona. They had opening day yesterday, which used to be called Media Day, Marie. That used to be when everybody go out and ask all those hard-hitting questions. It still is. They just call it something else. All right, so for the Chiefs, no Mecole Hardman. He is out, so they're down a wide receiver. They did they activate the running back?
Yes. Clyde Edwards.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? So no Mecole Hardman, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to play, and then Kadarius Toney did clear concussion protocol. Another one of the receivers. He's the receiver they got from the Giants midseason, and so he is going to play as well. Chiefs cornerback, that's defensive back, L'Jarius Sneed, told reporters that he had cleared concussion as well. So Philadelphia is relatively healthy, I think, right? Is there anything I'm worried about with Philadelphia?
There's no major injury concerns for the marquee players heading into the Super Bowl. You have Patrick Mahomes still limited some with the high ankle sprain, but 5-10% better than he was in the AFC Championship game. Then he was so much better than I expected him to be.
How's the shoulder on
in that contest? And probably a sole shoulder from Jalen Hurts, but hasn't been an issue so far.
Yeah. All right, Emery said he believed that, or he didn't believe that the rhetoric that the Eagles got lucky, that they played some teams. And look, I'm going to just tell you, every run has a little bit of luck to it. Every run does. Every Super Bowl run, every World Series run, every NBA run. How many times I hear that the Warriors got lucky because they played this team and they were injured, and that team was injured, and that team, right? Jamal Murray was out, and that. I don't know. Now, did they get a little fortunate that they knocked out 2 quarterbacks against San Francisco? I mean, yeah, but they blew them out the field, right? Were they lucky on their run?
Yes, but that shouldn't take away from a team, though.
Hardly. You still got to go out and win football games. Now, look, San Francisco being down to their 4th quarterback had no chance. They were playing the number 1 seed on the road. They had no chance. They couldn't. I mean, they were literally. They were an intramural team that couldn't throw the football, right? They had 2 quarterbacks. I mean, they couldn't throw the football. Who'd they play before that? Who was the game? Who'd the Eagles play?
Giants.
Yeah, and the Giants were kind of playing with house money at that point, right?
Well, that's also what you get as a number 1 seed.
You earn that. You earn that. Yeah, you earn it. You earn it. Did the Bengals get lucky? Did the Eagles get lucky? Did the Chiefs get lucky? I don't know, man. All I know is you got to go out and nothing's easy. The Chiefs had the Jaguars at home, and then the Bengals. I don't know. Everybody was picking the Bengals. How lucky did the Chiefs get? Everybody was picking the Bengals. Well, they 3 offensive linemen hurt. That was pretty lucky. I don't know. You take advantage of the breaks. You know how coaches tell you all the time, I'm not worried about what they have. I'm worried about what I got. I think that plays into this. You know what? I can't control who's healthy on their side, who they've got, what they're going to do. I can't. I'm going to control what I can control. And to me, that's what the Chiefs did. Because there was a lot of noise about the Bengals, and then the Bengals are going to come in, but they have 3 offensive linemen out. All right, good for Andy Reid attacking them. His quarterback, I don't know how lucky was he that his quarterback had a high ankle sprain. He had to play Chad Henne in the playoffs. How lucky was that? Oh, man, stuff happens. Luck, circumstance, you take advantage. Eagles got lucky that the Niners didn't have a quarterback, but they were going to win that game anyway. I firmly believe that. Do you disagree with that?
I don't. I think it would have I think it would come down to last possession.
So which quarterback, if Brock Purdy stayed healthy, you think the Niners would have won?
Yes.
I don't.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. We'll never know. We'll never know. All I know is they kicked the tar out of them. And they were winning when Brock Purdy went out. I thought they were better than the 49ers. But whatever luck means, here we are. And I firmly believe, and I know obviously you don't then, you think the Niners were better. I think the 2 best teams in football.
Those were the 2 best teams. I just think the Niners would have beat them.
But you don't think the Niners are better. You just think they would have beat them.
Yeah, I think that those are the 2 best teams in the NFC.
Yeah, but I think we got the 2 best teams in football.
Yeah, and I think the 49ers have the best defense in the NFL.
Okay, but do you think the Niners are better than the Eagles?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't think we have the 2 best teams?
Well,
you're talking Super
No,
Bowl.
I meant
Yeah,
I
Super
said
Bowl.
NFC. Oh, Super Bowl. I thought you meant the
Yeah,
and I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking about the
Super
NFC
Bowl.
Championship game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yes, what?
I think they're 2 of the top 4 teams in the NFL.
Okay, I think they're the 2 best.
I'm serious.
I think they're the 2 number
I could have
1
swayed
seeds.
both ways with the Bengals and the 49ers.
Yeah, I think the 2 number 1 seeds, they proved it all season long. They earned the number 1 seeds. They ran their way through the playoffs. They beat the 2s or the 3s or whatever. I think we got the 2 best teams this year. I do. I think the Eagles are better than the Niners. I mean, we sat here and talked about it before, how the Eagles have the best roster assembled, and I think their quarterback was better than even Brock Purdy.
Yeah, that changes it. Like if you take out the quarterback.
Well, sure. If you take out anybody's quarterback, right?
Well, no, I think if you take out the quarterback, the 49ers are the most talented football team from top to bottom. But then you insert Jalen Hurts, you insert Patrick Mahomes. Yes.
I think Eagles have the best roster. Now, you can tell me the Niners have the best defense. And I'm listening to that.
And their offense is pretty incredible
Their offense
as well.
is pretty good. I think the Eagles.
But it's Philadelphia that's here. It's Philadelphia that has
And
sacked
they've
the
earned
quarterback
it.
more so than anyone else.
That's right.
There we go.
Yeah, I think the Eagles have been the best team all year, and I think we got the 2 best teams in the Super Bowl.
And fellas, speaking of the big game, it's your girl, A-Marie, your part-time bro, helping you with your game plan for this week. This week is big. And again, I'm not talking about the big game. I'm talking about Valentine's Day. Here's the game plan to make sure you win over your special someone. First of all, ask your Valentine. Just do it. And then call Theo Brahma Chocolatier to create a chocolate experience for your Valentine. Theo Brahma Chocolatier, you ask? Yes, it's located on Montgomery and Tramway, and it's your go-to place for chocolate. They specialize in truffles, soft centers, chocolate-dipped strawberries, turtles, chocolate-covered popcorn, and my personal favorite, chocolate-covered espresso beans. Don't go to the drugstore for your chocolate. Head over to Theo Brahma Chocolatier for the win on Valentine's Day. Go today, Tramway Montgomery, or call in an order at 293-6545. Again, the number 293-6545. Theo Brahma Chocolatier, a delight in every bite.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
And AM 610, the sports animal.
Super Sunday here on the Sports Animal. As you're driving around, we've got the Super Bowl for you right here on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and A. Marie. Adrian's producing on the visual medium on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26 around the state, and on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. Thank you for being with us today, choosing to spend some time with us on a daily basis. The number to get in is 505-246-0610. Mateo, thanks for holding. Good morning, Mateo.
Yes, sir.
Mateo.
I am here.
Hey, what's up?
I heard last segment you guys talking about the Eagles and the 49ers, and I just wanted to say, as a Niner fan, I didn't feel like the Eagles really got lucky. They made the plays to hurt those two quarterbacks, and so, you got to give respect where respect is due. They deserve to be there.
Did you think the Niners had the better roster going through? I mean, obviously you thought your team was going to win going in, but, I mean, when you came out, did you think the Eagles were the better team?
Coming out, I mean, yeah, they definitely played better. They're the better team. I felt like, having a rookie quarterback was going to catch up to us at some point.
It always does in the NFL. So I love our roster. I might be a little biased, but you got to give respect. They made the plays.
Appreciate you, man. Don't be a stranger. Thanks for the call.
Oh, I love you guys. Listen every morning. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Mateo called at 505-246-0610. All right, so there's a Niner fan who says, look, they didn't get lucky. They made the plays. They knocked our guy out, and they did this. There's nothing.
That is the truest football is football. Stuff's going to happen.
Kind of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's football is football. Guys get hurt, and next guy up. You're just down to the fourth. Look,
I think we can start talking about the 49er quarterback curse.
Well, okay, so I was just kind of going to go there. Whether the Eagles got lucky or not, can we? And you know how I feel. I mean, I'm not a Niners fan by any stretch of the imagination, but they got unlucky, did they not?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, having 4 quarterbacks go down in a season. I mean, that's Lobo-esque, is it not?
Oh yes, it is.
I mean, that's UNM stuff. We're going down to QB4 and having. I mean, who was next? Bryson Carroll? Was he going to undress from his
Christian McCaffrey was getting ready?
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey and Kyle Juszczyk was their next quarterback, from what I was understanding. Yeah.
So that's a lot of people after coming off that game were piling on Kyle Shanahan because he's been the head coach of some collapses. But at that point in time, there's nothing left to do.
That's not right.
Like, you're not prepared for QB5. You don't spend that much time in a championship game week going, you know what? If Brock Purdy and Josh Johnson get hurt, let's install this entire game plan for Christian McCaffrey and Kyle Juszczyk.
Because Troy Calhoun, the Air Force coach, wasn't available to install the triple option and come in and work that thing this week and have Christian McCaffrey
Some
run the
point
triple
in
option.
time, even when you're supposed to be prepared, you're going to run out of options.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're out of bullets, man. Like bang, bang. There's nothing left in the gun, right? I mean, there's nothing left to throw. When it became apparent, when Josh Johnson went down with a concussion, and they had to roll Brock Purdy out there, and you see on 3rd and 7, and they're running the football, and then didn't they run a pitch play or have McCaffrey throw the ball at one point, right?
Yeah.
And you're realizing, okay, dude cannot throw the football. The game's over. Basically, what you're doing is you're trying to come back from 2 or 3 touchdowns down in an NFL playoff game against a really, really good defense on the road, and they know that you can't throw the football. And they're coming at you and plugging up every hole. And they know it's coming, and you know they know it's coming. Game was over. Like, whether you think the Eagles got lucky or not, even I'll admit, I mean, the Niners got unlucky. Damn, dude. You're down to your – I mean, nobody's got a 5th quarterback. Who's the 5th quarterback? I heard more damn calls for Colin Kaepernick that day than I heard in about a week. You know what I'm saying? Just bonkers, man. That's just bonkers on this whole thing. All right, if you want to get in, you can. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. The NFL's open for you. All that NFL stuff. Jeffrey Lurie, the head coach, the owner of the Eagles, basically said last night at Media Day, or opening day, that Jalen Hurts has earned it. The talk at this point next week, right, after the parade, when's the parade? Tuesday? Whoever has a parade? So then it's going to be contract extension on Jalen Hurts. That's next week's talk, but that will happen. Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Eagles, holding a little bit of a grudge against Andy Reid. When Andy Reid became the coach of the Chiefs in 2012, Nick Sirianni was on the old staff as wide receivers coach. He was not retained, still uses that as motivation. Okay, do what you got to do.
I think that makes sense for a lot of people in life. Like that one opportunity that you didn't get, or that one chance that didn't go your way. I went in the fire and say, hey, this happened. Now I have to be better. I think we've all had moments in our life that you can point at and say, well, we went through this, thought it was going to work out differently. It didn't.
Yep.
Let's learn from that.
I think that's all right. So you're there. That's your NFL stuff. And then if you want Bronco fan, you heard from Sean Payton yesterday. You heard from your new head coach, who basically said that Russell Wilson's private quarterback coach is not welcome at the team facility. I don't have a problem with that, man. Do you?
It's the right move.
It is the right move. Did Nathaniel Hackett know that was going on, that his guy was around?
Yeah.
And he was okay with it?
It wasn't as surprising.
Yeah. I'm the only other thing I can think of is Tom Brady, who is at a different ilk from everybody else. Just see his underwear commercials now, right? Tom Brady had his own trainer. Okay. Who was granted access. He's Tom Brady. By the way,
And that's the win sour.
and that's what?
And that's the win.
Yeah, it went sour. Where are you guys with Tom Brady doing underwear ads? The show before us, DA was saying it's too soon. Why is it too soon, man?
Why? Because he got divorced? That's ridiculous.
Well, no, he's saying it's you just right after you retire, you're doing underwear ads. Like, give it a month or so. Well, why?
Who
Why?
cares?
It's Super Bowl
It's
time.
endorsements.
100%.
Who gives us?
Why
That's a silly take.
Right before we went on the air, you and I were listening to that, right? And I'm like, why? Why do you care when dude doesn't endorse? It would have been okay if he did Lay's potato
He
chips?
does Uggs. He does a lot of things.
Well,
His
he
own
says,
brand.
He says, is that what we're going to see now? Brady everywhere? Yeah. You're still seeing Peyton. How long's Peyton been out? Peyton's on
Forever.
everything. Eli's on everything.
One of the what?
I'm still seeing Michael Jordan on ads, aren't I?
Yeah, most universal athlete. Why wouldn't someone use him?
What? I mean, tell me what I didn't understand on that take. Like, why is it too soon?
Because they're a New York
Is it
show.
What is it? Because he was in his underwear and because he was sitting there?
Yeah, they're just trying to clown him.
They clowned him because they were calling it
Look at
bulge
him in his,
shots.
CBS Sports.
in his underwear. Yeah. Look at you hanging over yours.
Yeah,
And
dude,
look.
if you could do that, you would too. That's right. You would-
Yeah.
yeah.
It motivates you.
He's going through a midlife crisis. Maybe he is, man. Maybe.
So what?
Maybe he's 45 years old.
Haters gotta hate, man.
Look, man, if there was ever a cause for a midlife crisis, by the way, 45-year-old dude who just finished his career that he's been doing for 20-something years, who just divorced from his wife, who's changing careers, going through like the change he's going through. If there was ever a reason for a dude to go through midlife crisis, wouldn't this guy be it?
Oh yeah. Also, I just love too his sense of humor. He tweeted out too, like, Gronk, am I doing this right? He like listed all his players, like, and he's like in his underwear. Like, it's funny. I think I like it.
Yes,
it's hilarious. Everyone
Who doesn't like Tom Brady? in his underwear?
also. They're all just jealous. They're all just jealous.
Who doesn't
Valentine's Day is coming up, and Tom Brady's just like
He's gonna
ranting
steal
on
your chick.
stealing your chick, dude.
Jay just says, who doesn't like Tom Brady in his underwear?
Um,
Dudes who are having their big
my old man,
bellies hanging
my
all
old
over.
man. People who don't like Tom Brady.
Just get used to it, man. And if
You're going to see a lot more of that.
I don't know what brand underwear he's selling. I don't. Do you?
But you need to buy it now.
But dude,
No, but I just it's seen it all over the internet. So
all
it's
right.
doing
So
something.
how many chicks are going to buy that brand of underwear for their? Douche?
Oh, come on! Especially because guys love people who love Tom Brady. Think these guys like they love him more than like their girlfriends or wives sometimes.
But how many?
This is a great sell, by the way, for Valentine's Day.
100%. How many chicks are going to buy? Here's what I learned when Gildan was our sponsor. They made it very clear. They advertised to the women because women buy socks and underwear, right? That's who buys it. Dudes don't buy their own.
No, that's so weird. They don't.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, they were really good at marketing. They're really good. That's what I learned. So
Because we'll wear the same socks and underwear for 20 years.
that's right.
It's not prioritized.
That's right. That
it's
hole
not-
doesn't bother me.
It's not prioritized.
I don't know if there's holes in my socks or my underwear. It doesn't bother me, right?
It's like these are worn in, they're comfortable.
Yeah. Why you take away my best pair of drawers? And those socks were great. My toe fit perfectly through that hole.
Oh, yeah, that's totally understandable. Because I'll get you still have these? Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Dude,
I'm
look
throwing
at
them away.
They used to be whatever color they used to be. I don't even know what the hell they are now. The hell is that? Throw them away. Yeah. No, that was a big deal when Gildan used to do buys in the market. They would buy the music stations and Magic and that stuff because, as they said, especially around the holidays, it's
so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. When was the last time you bought socks, dude? Or underwear? Right?
I haven't.
If it was anyone else but Tom Brady, I'm thinking insert whoever.
Well,
It's just
whoever.
'cause
What
it's
if it
Tom
was
Brady.
Jalen Hurts? What if it
Oh,
was? What if
no
it
one
was,
would care.
What if Aaron Rodgers does that mess? What if no?
Then now
Joey B.
Okay,
if
but
Aaron
how-
Rodgers
I'm
did
trying
it,
to
they'd be
think
like,
of
"That's why he's
other
not a good
good look.
quarterback."
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G's gonna
Joey
do it.
B.
So tell
all
me
the girls
why,
are in love with them.
Tell me why it's too soon. That's what that
Oh
was his
my
big deal. It's too
God.
soon. Why he just stopped playing and now, why?
Okay.
Why is it too soon?
Why can't you model underwear? His ex-wife did it for a living for many of years.
Dude, he's not the first guy. Jim Palmer. Do you guys remember the picture for the
I'm
Orioles?
trying
Jim
to remember.
Palmer.
Yeah.
He used to model underwear.
trying
Joe
to
Namath modeled in pantyhose. Joe Namath. Look it up. Joe Namath in pantyhose.
Jordan. Hold on.
Jordan did Hanes.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Jim Palmer, I want to say, did Through the Loom. He's not the first athlete who has been on
People
TV
just
or been in a
love
print
to-
ad in his drawers.
Dang media, so silly.
Well, man, there's enough to get irate about. Good for Tommy, man. Do what you got to do. And do what you can do. Because at some point, he might not be able to do it. 45 years old, living his
Soon
best
he'll be
life.
doing new mail. I mean,
Let
let
him-
him do the underwear.
Fine, man. Maybe he is doing that. He's got good hair. Maybe that's why is it? I don't know. Maybe he could do John Thomas Jewelers. They're the best jeweler I've ever seen.
For his new Valentine.
That's what I'm saying. He might have a new Valentine. Hey, do you have a new Valentine? You have a Valentine that maybe isn't all that new? May I suggest John Thomas Jewelers? If you're ready to make your Valentine your wife, make the transition complete with John Thomas Jewelers, because it is the spot. Be sure to stop by there. I went by, it's got to be about a month ago now, and insanely impressed with John Thomas Jewelers. They are on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. It's on Louisiana, one block of it all. So you've got to want to go there, right? It's just to the east of Coronado Mall. Unlike any jewelry store you've been to, this isn't one of those mall jewelers where you go in and pick something out of the case, high pressure. No. They do more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year. If you can dream it, they can make it. And you're going to be amazed at how affordable it is. Why so affordable? Because they do everything here. They don't take your piece and then send it out of state. They will give you a look at it. They've got all these samples, right? And you basically assemble your ring, your piece, whatever it is you want. They'll show you what it looks like on a graphic. Then they'll make you a 3D version of it, like a 3D printed version. And you will have the most unique, beautiful diamond that she will love forever. If you can dream it, they can make it. They're now my jeweler. I think they should be yours. It's John Thomas Jewelers. Stop by and see them. It's on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building in Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sports Animal.
Yeah, Jim Palmer did it for a long time. Joe Namath did pantyhose. Whatever, man. You're gonna see Peyton Manning for how long? How long do you think? What's Peyton Manning's shelf life for ads? It's years, right? I mean, Michael Jordan's still out there. Now, Peyton Manning and Michael Jordan.
Well, Peyton Manning has his own production company too. They
Yeah,
do
but he's getting Lay's and Pepsi and
everything.
There's a mobile phone carrier and he's everywhere,
Gambling
man.
sites.
Yes. So Tom Brady is in his drawers. You have to look at it. David, good morning. How you living?
A couple of things that I think you're missing. Damon Amendola's statement was ultimately Brady is out for a thin-veiled attempt at attention after he's just getting all the world of attention. That was the complete thought expressed by Amendola, whatever the heck his name is. And the idea was he was thinking in line with Brady saying, okay, if I get 40 some odd whatever likes on this thing, then and only then will I appear on the beach in my underwear. So it was tagged as something, an extension of some kind of like, if you like me enough, then I'll show up and do this.
Didn't he also say why
Brady undergoing some midlife crisis?
Yeah.
I know some 45-year-olds kind of think themselves nothing Porsche drivers who would love to have that kind of midlife crisis.
All would.
Brady's not going through a midlife crisis any way, shape, or form. He's sitting on $300 million future. He's ultimately sitting on how much money? He's the talk of the town, no matter how overrated he was last season.
Yeah.
I mean,
why can't he go through a midlife
going
crisis?
through a midlife crisis.
Why? Just because you got all the money in the world, you can't go through like a little crisis and try to figure out what you're doing?
A midlife crisis is saying your life is going nowhere. How in the hell is his life going nowhere, dude?
Well, his life's going anywhere he wants it to go. But I mean, I don't know what he's dealing with emotionally or whatever. Midlife crisis is kind of at a crossroad, going, what am I doing? What do I want to do? How am I going to do it? I don't know what he's going through. And by the way, David, Amanda Lara was saying, why now? Why not wait a month? Why is he doing it right now? That he absolutely said that, and I'm like, what's the difference between now and a month from now? Why should he wait?
His exact statement was, why is he doing it now for a thin, ultimately claim for attention? He was boiling him down to the NFL equivalent of Ashton Kutcher's character on the 70s Show, where it means I can run around and say I'm hot, and ultimately the joke when the Ashton Kutcher's character says, I can say it because it's my contract. Yeah. Ultimately, Ashton Kutcher was ultimately thought to be the 70s Show version of Tom Brady. They're both after the thinly veiled, look at me attention. And I guess that was Amendola's statement, meaning
then maybe he's going through a midlife crisis.
You don't need the attention. You already have the attention. Just a week ago, everybody was derailing every discussion because you were the center of attention.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of weeks later, you're somehow out of the spotlight, so you have to generate this attention.
See?
That's what Damon Amendola was saying.
So then maybe he's going through a midlife crisis and needs all that attention. See?
Yeah, I would love to have that kind of midlife crisis.
We all would. Thanks, David. Appreciate you. Look. If you're going to go through a midlife crisis, would you like to go through it with $300 million and be in him?
You know what? That's one of the things where...
Define midlife crisis.
I don't care if he's out of midlife crisis or not, but it's marketing, it's advertising. It's wild to me that talking heads, and I'll throw myself in there, get so upset at the superstars of sport when they have to talk about them. Like, that's what the business is based on, dude. Like, whether you're talking about Tom Brady posting an Instagram photo or Tom Brady on the football field, like, superstars drive the narrative. And some of these guys get so upset. Like, that Tom Brady take is just like, why?
What do you mean?
We're talking about DA.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point of that? Like,
I don't know.
Honestly, like, who cares? Because that's a different medium. It's a different audience he's posting that for.
Yeah.
So why do you have to say, boop, Tom Brady underwear take, hot take, here we go? But that's your brand too, man. That's what builds this, is the superstars and the takes on it.
And to David's point, if the point was, look at me, why is he sitting here, look at me? Because he can? Because he's getting paid to? Because he's endorsing? Because he's still like flaming red hot right now as far as marketers go? If you give me 40 likes, then I'll be whatever. I mean, that was part of the marketing campaign because it's hot. That's what marketers do. He got paid to do it. He has all the money he needs. I don't know. How much money does a man need? And I don't know what a midlife crisis is, okay? Define it however you want. I don't know if I'm not by no means going to sit here and say he is or he is not. If he is, God bless him if he is. He's fine, and I would understand it if he is. I don't know if he is. But I'm going to tell you this. I know plenty of dudes who had a lot of money, maybe not that much money, who've gone through whatever a midlife
I don't think
issue
him
is.
posting that Instagram photo means he's going through a midlife crisis.
No, I don't either. I don't know if he is or if he's not. I have no idea.
And listening to him
by the way, would have every
was
right to.
actually really interesting yesterday.
What do you say?
Talking about taking the gear and investing in himself, investing in his life, getting things back on track, and attacking his new career.
No, because he can.
Yeah.
Right? Because he can. No, God bless him. And
like the Instagram post obviously isn't for
you and me,
us or DA. So
yeah,
why you get so upset about it?
But that's my whole point. I do what you got to do. I looked at it and I kind of laughed and good for him. And then I heard that take this morning. I'm like, what are you so mad about? Like, and why should he wait a month? Why should he wait 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks? What's the difference? Super Bowls now. This is when all these companies are spending their money on marketing. $7 million for a 30-second spot.
Also, this has been probably planned for a while. This probably didn't come out of nowhere.
I'm sure that's probably right. And if he was
usually
still a
marketing plans,
yeah,
like
100%,
guys, it just doesn't come out of nowhere. You just don't get an endorsement.
So would it have been okay if he was still the quarterback of the Buccaneers and he'd have done this?
Season?
Would that have been okay?
I guess.
By the way, he absolutely could have done that, right?
I'm saying.
I don't understand the ire. But I just spent all this time talking about it. 505-246-0610. You got a bunch of emails in on Lobo basketball. I got to get to you before we get out of here. Lobo's in Nevada tonight. We'll do that when I return. Fellas, how you feeling? Tired, sluggish, just way too often? I do have some help for you. New Mail's been helping men all over the country for years deal with things like fatigue and depression and weight gain, even erectile dysfunction, and they will help you feel better. And now for men and ladies who are dealing with hair loss, New Mail can take care of you as well. The number is 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at newmail.com. So the hair restoration options are state-of-the-art, and they work. New Mail's professionals walk you through the options, and then you choose what's best for you. They'll offer you platelet-rich plasma hair therapy, which uses your own platelets. They stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicles, stops hair loss, you regrow hair. They offer you an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser, proven to regrow hair. They offer you NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, and there's no linear scarring. Men, ladies, give New Mail a call. The number is 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or you can visit them online at newmail.com.
Nelson, he's got 3 fouls, so he doesn't really want to be getting
Could be
involved.
the dagger. That's
Gomez!
Inside.
Hochschild gives it up. Shot is up. Oh!
Ball goes inside to Duke, guarded by Trujillo. Eli with the tip and the finish.
Schermerhorn on the drive. Yes, strong fit.
She's gonna got numbers.
1 second. She slips it in just a.
Still some time. Montoya, plenty of room. Yes. Wide open long ball for Jason Montoya.
screen. Ball fake, but rejected. Boom. Rejects it.
Quickly, or if they hold for the final. Wyckoff, yes, count the basket. A chance at a three-point play for Wyckoff, and a free throw is coming up.
Catch and shoot.
D. Hill, give it to the hot hand. Why not?
What happened to the boys? And oh boy. I guess they knew about it.
One more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke.
Sports Animal. All right, coming home on a game day, Tuesday. Over in the pit tonight, Nevada, New Mexico, 8:30 tip, 8 o'clock pregame over on News Radio KKOB. Robert Portnoy and Hunter Green. We'll have a call from Albertsons Radio Row, courtside at the famous pit. John, thanks for holding. Good morning, John.
Hey, good to have you back, Jeff.
Thank you, John.
Just a couple of quick comments. You were talking yesterday how we watched the Super Bowl back in the day when we were younger and our had a bunch of family friends in the neighborhood and everything. We'd all get together, have a Super Bowl party. and have a food theme party. Like one Super Bowl would be Mexican food, and next Super Bowl, the next year would be Italian food. So we used to do that, but now everybody just stays home by themselves and watches their game. Tom Brady, you know, it's like, you know, instead of talking about the Chiefs and the Eagles and the Kelsey brothers and whatnot, he tries to keep himself relevant. I'm just sick of it. Go away, Tom. Go away. And I hope the Lobos beat Nevada tonight by 20 to erase that debacle that occurred in Reno a couple weeks ago. So, go Lobos.
All right. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. You think Tommy did it just to be relevant? I mean, that's kind of what I'm hearing. Brady's doing this just – I don't think you run a commercial so nobody's going to see it. I don't think Charles Barkley and Tony Romo do a Subway spot that they're hoping nobody sees, right? I mean, everybody's doing this, A, to get paid, and B, you know, to hopefully people see their spot, whatever it is they're selling, Subway or underwear or Bones or Lay's or whatever, right? What am I missing?
People just don't like Tom Brady.
Okay. All right. All right, a lot of you have been in on the game tonight. Emails, Jeff at sports@WBQ.com. And if you still, we got time for you still, 505-246-0610. Robo Hobo says, Jeff, remember that season Alfred had all the numbers at his fingertips? Lobo basketball was the first team in school history to do this, first team in Mountain West history to do that. They won the number 2 RPI league by 2 games. It had to be cold water in face, not only to lose to Harvard and Jacques Cousteau, but to see the whole Mountain West flop. Then facing the intense pressure to make the Sweet 16 the following season without his best player, Snell, who unexpectedly went pro. And I will always believe that was the reason Steve Alford bailed. It's from Lobo Hobo. So he believes, what, that the pressure and Snell leaving was the reason that Alford left? I mean, he left because UCLA offered him a whole lot of money and that opportunity. To the best of my knowledge, he wasn't out looking for jobs at Indiana State or you know, Idaho State. He had just verbally agreed to an extension. I disagree with you, Lobo Hobo. Look, I'm not going to tell you he wasn't feeling the pressure. But I think he understood that this job had pressure. That's kind of why he took it, right? He loved this kind of place, Indiana, that kind of stuff, that loves basketball. Do you buy into what he said? The pressure to get to the Sweet 16 and Tony Snell leaving was the reason he left? Because I say no way.
The reason he left was because UCLA offered him the job.
Seriously.
Who cares if he was the second, third, fourth
That's right.
choice for UCLA? They presented him a contract to go coach at a program that you could say is bigger than the Lobos.
No, it's not arguable. It's just not arguable.
Yeah.
You know who was like the 3rd or 4th pick when he got the job at a high-profile college program? Pete Carroll when he went to USC. How'd that work out? Ray, good morning.
Morning, guys. You know, I agree with that last caller. It's Super Bowl weekend. Why are we still talking Tom Brady? I mean, we had to put up with this whiny cheater for 23 years. Just want him to go away.
Yeah, but he won't.
Enough Tom Brady.
All right.
Come on already.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. I mean, we talked about Tom Brady for about 6 minutes, right? It's not like we spent the whole day talking about
No,
it.
I think that's just people that don't like Tom Brady.
No, I get it. David's in on Craig Neal. He said, Jeff, Craig Neal was never going to be a head coach until UNM gave him the job. A casual acquaintance who I had that was very knowledgeable about the basketball scene in Albuquerque would often say that Noodles was difficult to work with, had a bad temperament, was well known amongst college coaches. That's why he didn't get the Georgia Tech job that he coveted or any other college head coaching job. Okay. Noodles was fiery. What does this say? Bad temperament? I mean, everything's definable. Noodles was fiery. He didn't get along with everybody. At the time and at the place, and again, I'll own this. I totally thought that was the right call. I just did. Go for Jeff. Josh Johnson equals B.R. Holbrook. The 4th-string quarterback of the Niners reminded me of the contest in Wyoming where Davey was just hoping B.R. could make it through the entire game because his backup was flashy. Who's flashy? I don't even remember. Okay. What else you got? Pickle fries. What are pickle fries? They're pickles that are sliced into French fries. Actually pretty good. Lars wants to move New Mexico Bowl. We're making fun of Pro Bowl, but with America jonesing so bad for football, JJ, the numbers show folks were around the TV at establishments hanging on every play. Can you imagine the TV numbers if your game was played last weekend as an alternative for the football-starved public? Yeah, because all these programs are going to stay practicing.
opportunity,
for
Jeff.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, all right. I don't know, we did pretty well the day we were. All right. What do I get tonight? I get Lobo basketball and I get
Pretty
LeBron.
big game.
Nevada.
2 big games.
What do you watch? The State of the Union, LeBron, or Lobos?
Lobos.
You gonna have the State of the Union on at your pregame party over at 377?
What time does it start?
Probably 7.
Oh, yeah, that's when the pregame ends. So maybe they could just have like
We need to know
Yeah.
about this balloon.
Pregame ends at 7.
Oh, the balloon. It's 5. Yeah, we're doing 5 to 7. We do it earlier so people come. People can stay. The pregame just ends at 7.
Kind
5
of feels
to
like
7.
about when I would get there. I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, because if everyone comes at 7, then it's going to be hard to get people in and out and early to the pit.
So they got to go to the pit at 7 for an 8:30 game. Okay.
Might need to get
I'm
in
not
line.
telling them
You're
to leave
throwing them
at
out.
7.
You're throwing them out of the place. You clear out. Get out.
This is really helping my marketing for
We're
this.
gonna put on the president now.
Jeff, this is not what I meant. I meant like we tell people to come early so we can get you in and out.
Then get a parking spot.
Nice.
Parking spot, get to the pit.
Instead of parking a dirt lot.
You know what I'm
a
saying.
mile and a half away. No,
Albuquerque time. So really, everyone should leave around 7:30, around 377.
I understand.
So you're on the Lobos tonight?
I am on the Lobos.
I'm Lobos money line.
New Lobos money line.
Yeah, I don't touch points when it comes to Lobos.
Where are you?
Too close.
75-70?
Right at
Wow,
the number.
you're
Yeah,
wow.
no, I think that's about right. You don't think so?
I just don't trust the spread ever with the Lobos.
So
this
what do
year.
you think? Like, what's your gut tell you?
It's going to come down to the last possession. They're
Is
going to
it?
win by like 2.
Okay.
1 or 2. I can't trust the spread. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I don't think it goes to overtime. I'll tell you that. Or double
Well,
overtime.
it could if it's going to go down. I think people will get there early. The one thing people are looking for more are people looking forward more to cheering their team or to booing those two guys when they walk down the
People
ramp?
like to hate. They like the booing.
The ramp entrance
That's the must see, right?
with Alford and Craig Neal
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
down first.
Yeah.
See, that's
And the
why
last
the
person
pregame
down
is so early.
Is Rich Bertino.
Yeah.
It just adds to what is going to be a fun night at the pit.
Have fun out there tonight. Jim Rome Show is next. Heard with Colin Coward after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. And we're back with War Award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Adrian, A. Marie, great work today.
Thank you.
Have a great pregame party. Go see A. Marie at 377 Brewery, 5 o'clock tonight before the game. Big day for you. See you at the pit tonight. Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will see you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.